To the Valpo Sports Radio Network, the home of Beacon Athletics. Today from Pregame, radio show to deep three. Austin Raiders get them out for the lead with a minute 15 to go. From the game-winning touchdown, the last-second shot, the Valpo Sports Radio Network brings you every game for your Beacons. They keep the back out as well. Brown takes up a three. That one trains it. A layup on air at 95.1 FM and streaming live at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Athletics Recreation Center in the Vale of Paradise on the campus of Valparaiso University for today's women's basketball Missouri Valley Conference matchup featuring the home team on the scoreboard, the 7-21 Valparaiso Beacons, who are coached by Mary Evans, who's in her fifth season as a head coach at Valparaiso, and the visiting team, the 20-10 Belmont Bruins, who are coached by Bart Brooks, who's in his sixth season at Belmont University. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Zach Collins. We're just about 20 minutes away from the opening tip-off, and now we'll start here with the Northwest Health Women's Basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, The Source 95, and streaming on YouTube. We'd also like to give a big shout-out to Colvick, who's able to get us on the airwaves here for this game this afternoon. We'll discuss the last game for the Beacons as Olivia Brown posted the highest scoring half by a Valpo women's player in over 5 years since Meredith Hamlet scored 23 against IUNW in 2017, as Brown went from scoring no points in the first half and coming into the second half knocking in 22 points in the second half alone. But it wasn't enough as the Beacons fell 77-64 to the Murray State Racers. Valpo shot 44% from the field, but just shy of 26% from the field in the first half of action. And Brown really helped that success rate, as she's the second Valpo player to score double digits in a single period 5 times this year, joining Allie Saunders when she had 32 points overall against UAB. Last game also put Brown in history, as she was one of 2 players alongside Saunders who were able to earn 20-plus points in a game since 2021, when Morrison and Wyman scored 20 points apiece in that matchup. Valpo also shot their season best 92.9% from the free throw line, going 13 of 14 in their loss to the Racers. Really, the problem in the last game for the Beacons was not as much of the offense as it was the defense on the night. Murray State shot over 60% in the first half, which was limited to just an overall 48% in the game. Valpo around 4 Racers in the double digits scoring, with Macy Turley leading the Racers with 19 points on the night. I had the privilege to talk to Mary Evans after that competition, and due to little technical errors, we will not be playing that post-game interview with Mary Evans, but in likelihood, just talking about Evans overall, she just said they need to play defense. We've seen Valpo in the last 2 games, just not really the last 3 games, even the game against Bradley, Illinois State, and now Murray State. They just haven't been playing good defense on the floor. Really, they've relied more so on their offensive heavy game to be able to keep them in these games lately. And that just hasn't been enough for Valpo, as they've been able to take 2 of the 3 games in terms of losses. Bradley only a 4-point game that Valpo won overall against the Braves, and for the Braves to lose game after game after game, as Bradley has continued their losing streak to 22 games now, that just almost was tight enough for Valpo to really show that they need to play better defense on the floor. We'd like to remind you that the Valparaiso Women's Basketball pregame show is brought to you by Calumet Brewing, Custonia Tractor, Wings Etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Humphrey Howie's, Culver's, IVEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. And once again, you're listening to the Northwest Health Women's Basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Let's go over the series between the Bruins and the Beacons. It's not one in the history books, but it's one where they've only matched up at one point in time. That was last year, still this season, but last year on December 30th, Belmont won 74-60 in Nashville up against the Beacons. The RPI prediction coming for this competition this afternoon: Belmont 72, Valpo 61, the over-under 133 points coming into this competition. Valpo's ranked 288th overall in the RPI rankings. Belmont just shy of the top 50, sitting at 54th overall in the RPI rankings. So definitely impressive efforts here by the Belmont Bruins coming this season. And they've been one of the better teams. We'll get into them just shortly. But not before we get into the last matchup even further, as Valpo shot 11 of 27 from the field, which at the time was a season best for the Beacons. Bruins put in 7 rebounds and knocked in 6 points, with Olivia Browns leading in the scoring column with 18 points, going 6 of 9 from the field, followed up by an Ava Interrante, able to be successful from the field as well. She was just a point shy of tying her career high with 14 in that last game against Belmont. Alice Saunders also added on a few of her own, finishing with 10 points and going 3 of 8 from the field, owning 5 assists in the competition. Valpo did, however, commit 22 turnovers in that competition to the Bruins, as Belmont scored 20 points off of Valpo's 22 turnovers in the game. The Bruins were led by Madison Bartley, who had 20 points and went 9 of 14 from the field in just 20 minutes of play. Destiny Wells knocked in 19, going 7 of 9 from the foul marker, and a big win for the Bruins over the Beacons in that last competition between the two teams in the matchup. So really, you got to look at it down the line. Valpo and Belmont, they played a tight game. It was only a 14-point game. The RPI prediction coming here this afternoon is only measuring an 11-point win for the Bruins. And for Belmont to be as successful as they have been all season, for Valpo to even get within standing of the Bruins coming into this competition, it's really just a huge effort coming for Valparaiso. So let's talk even further as we go into the Valley standings and some of the upcoming games, which are brought to you by the IBEW, Empowering America team of Northwest Indiana. Looking at the upcoming games here, one game currently in action with 1:52 left to go in the second quarter. Indiana State actually leading over Illinois State 37-32. The Sycamores are looking for a win, as right now Indiana State is able to break that losing streak of their last competition. They're on a 5-game losing streak up until their last game. They're really looking to get a win against one of the Valley's best of Illinois State coming this season. And Illinois State, just beyond one of the more successful teams in the Valley, they're actually tied for first place with Belmont right now. So if Illinois State drops a game, Belmont's going to take that first spot, and Belmont really, with the way they've been playing basketball recently with a 13-game winning streak, that's a team you don't want to let take the first spot, because that'll give them even more momentum, even more enthusiasm coming into games, and really that positive energy that they're going to need coming through the remainder of the season. Let's look down the line at some of the other games taking place here this afternoon. Bradley taking on Evansville, 1 o'clock start. Bradley looking to get their first Valley win. Evansville, a team that they could possibly do it up against, coming for the Purple Aces. They're looking to stop the Bradley Braves, as Evansville currently sitting at 6-13 in the Valley. If Valpo wins here in this game, they could be tied with both Evansville and Indiana State. But if Indiana State gets a win, they'll actually be tied with Murray State. If Murray State loses, lots of things can happen. We'll, of course, break that down for you later in this broadcast. SIU is going to be taking on Drake with a 2 o'clock start. UIC is going to be taking on Murray State at home at a 2 o'clock start. And Missouri State traveling to take on the Panthers of UNI. They're also slated for a 2 o'clock start as well in Valley action. Let's move on to talk about the visitors of Belmont Bruins. As in the last game for the Bruins, they were able to dodge the Flames as they ended up winning 81-56 over UIC. Madison Bartlett earned 31 points in that competition, hauling in 5 rebounds and going 13 of 18 from the field, earning her career high in points on the night. Of course, her season high as well. Followed by Destiny Wells, who missed 1 shot, just going 7 of 8 and knocking in 16 points, earning 6 assists as well for Belmont. Tessa Miller also contributed in the scorebook, earning 11 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for the sophomore. This game continued the Bruins' winning streak to 13 games by Belmont, as they're looking to maintain that winning streak here today up against the Beacons. And one thing to mention about Belmont, they're able to go against UIC. UIC, a team that typically keeps point totals under 60 for visiting opponents in games. We're not used to seeing a team like UIC allow that many points for the Bruins. UIC's been a successful defensive team, even matching up against Illinois State and holding them within a 70-point marker. I mean, just impressive stats to break down for the Flames so far this season, and let alone for Belmont to come to UIC to play the Flames at home and dominate in that matchup is absolutely tremendous overall. Let's look even further as we're going to take a look at head coach Brian Brooks of the Belmont Bruins. He's in his sixth season overall. He's 143-44. If he earns a win here today, he'll be 100 games over his losing record of only 44 games in this season. I mean, that'd just be impressive to have 100 more wins than your losses on the board. And he's been one of the more successful coaches we've seen in Division I basketball. He's a former assistant coach at DePaul University for 11 years in Chicago. Looking at it as well, he was the second fastest coach to win 100 games in women's basketball NCAA history. And looking down the line as well, they won 4 OVC regular season championships and went to 4 NCAA tournaments. Last year actually beating Oregon and losing in the second round. For the last 2 years, they've been able to go at least to the 32 mark, where there are 32 teams remaining in the women's basketball tournament. They've been able to make it there twice in the last 2 years. I mean, that's just beyond impressive, just shows the success that the Bruins have had, and that's really because of the likelihood of Coach Brooks, as well as looking at Belmont overall. When you look at the rankings, and they're not even in one of the top power conferences. They're only one of the 3 teams who have had 20 or more wins that are not in a Power 5 conference. When you look at them, the other 2 being Florida Gulf Coast and South Dakota State. Those are the only 2 teams, counting with Belmont, that have been 20 or more wins in the last 8 years. In terms of when you look at how successful they've been in previous seasons, Belmont was even more successful last year. They're 23-8, 16-2 in the Ohio Valley, and of course, they joined the Missouri Valley this season after being a part of Ohio Valley. Murray State doing the same, and UIC coming from the Horizon League. And with the Valpo previously part of the Horizon League, a lot of teams have moved around conferences as of late. It's kind of a big thing that's happening. Big Ten's adding up a few teams. ACC is looking to add a couple. Even the Big 12 is looking to lose a couple and add some more. So you don't know how this is going to work out, but Belmont really fitting at home here in the Valley. They're 11-3 overall, tied for the number 1 spot with Illinois State as we get to the conference standings, which are brought to you by First Source Bank. Strong, stable, local personal banking. That's First Source Bank. 2 teams, as I mentioned, tied for the first place in the Valley positioning. Belmont and Illinois State, the Redbirds and the Bruins sitting at 16-3 overall in the conference rankings when you look at it. And also looking down the board, Illinois State sitting at 22-7, Belmont sitting at 20-10 with the overall records. Redbirds are on a 3-game winning streak with the Bruins on a 13-game winning streak. UNI sitting right behind at 15-4. And no matter what, if UNI earns a win, they could be even tied for that first spot. And if Illinois State or Belmont loses, UNI also could remain in that second spot if they lose here in this competition. They can actually fall to the 3rd spot as they're currently tied at 4. They're currently sitting with the 3rd spot as there's 2 teams tied for the first overall. Missouri State sitting right behind it at 14-5. Also, if they win and UNI loses, could be tied for another ranking as well. However, UNI is on a 2-game winning streak, and looking at Missouri State, one of them's going to take a win, one of them's going to take a loss. So positioning definitely going to be a big matchup coming for both of those teams as well. Drake sitting at 13-6, and again, if Drake gets a win, they can move up overall. UIC and SIU in separate matchups as the Flames are taking on the Racers, and looking at SIU, they're going to be taking on the Bulldogs. Looking at SIU, they actually could earn a win in that competition against Drake, move up against UIC, or UIC can take a win in that competition against Murray State. And Murray State sitting at 7-12. They can also move up overall in the rankings. Indiana State and Evansville both tied at 6-13 overall. They're going to likely remain kind of in that positioning. And looking at it overall, Evansville is going to be taking on Bradley, a game that they could likely win against the Braves. And looking at Indiana State, they're going to be taking on Illinois State as that game currently is tied at 39 all at the half. looking down further in the rankings now, Rizzo looks like they're going to just be seated at that number 11 spot in the Valley. 5-14 overall in the conference rankings, and 7-21 with their overall record. And the Bradley Braves sitting right at the bottom, 0-19 in the Valley, 3-27 overall, as they're currently in a rebuilding period, but to really get back on track to get their season back in action. So tough things for Bradley on their end, but they're really looking to kind of redistrict their team overall to get them back into a better standing in the conference. Looking at some of the top 25 games, two currently in action. Number 9, UConn taking on Georgetown with a minute 18 left to go in the fourth quarter. Looks like UConn's going to win big, 66-39, the current score. UConn's going to move on. And also women's college basketball action, a game that I've got my eyes wide open to in amazement. With 3:50 left to go in the fourth quarter, number 10, Notre Dame, 32. Louisville, who not coming into this was not ranked, 62. Louisville is leading by 30 points up against the Fighting Irish in that competition. I'm going to have to make sure that this is absolutely correct, because Notre Dame, being one of the more successful teams this season, actually was able to beat Louisville in a tight matchup in the last game, as that game is currently at 62-32, 3:50 left to go in the fourth quarter of action. Man, you never know what to expect in any aspect of women's college basketball. Men's college basketball being the exact same thing. I mean, you just don't know what to expect, what's going to happen in games. I mean, we've seen a lot of upsets in these tournaments that are leading up until the big tournament, as we like to call it here, the Madness in March, is what we'll call it here on WVUR 95.1 FM. It is senior day here in the Athletics Recreation Center. This will actually be the last game that I call you on WVUR as a student here at the Athletics Recreation Center. And this will be one of the more interesting aspects coming into this game here this afternoon as we get into the starting lineups just shortly after we will do the national anthem live here on WVUR 95.1 FM. Valpo's looking to pitch into this. Their leading scorer for the Beacons, number 2, Olivia Brown, averaging 11.9 points per game. For the Bruins, number 11, Destiny Wells, with 17.4 points per game, leading Belmont in just about every game. And with Destiny Wells, we've also got Caitlin McGough, a player that even Mary Evans mentioned in the postgame, one of the better players overall in the Valley, and just one of the more successful players in conference play. Her father is actually the coach of Ohio State's women's basketball program, so you never know what you're going to expect. And we're going to head over to the PA announcer for the national anthem.
Please rise and honor America for the playing of our national anthem.
And then, of course, the national anthem played over the loudspeakers here in the Athletics Recreation Center. Let's take a look for the starting lineups here for this afternoon's competition, sponsored by Northwest Health. Schedule an appointment today at mycarenorthwesthealth.com. First, let's start with the visitors of Belmont Bruins in this competition here this afternoon. At the point guard position, we have number 5, Sydney Harvey. At the shooting guard position, we have number 11, Destiny Wells. At the small forward position, we have number 12, Caitlin McGough. At the power forward position, we have number 3, Madison Bartley. And in the center position, number 22, Tessa Miller. They're, of course, coached by Bart Brooks in his 6th season overall at Belmont University. Now let's move to the starting lineups for the home team, the Valpo Beacons, who are coached by Mary Evans, who's in her 5th season overall here at Valpo University. At the point guard position, they're going to be led by number 4, Elise Pitts. At the shooting guard position, it's going to be number 1, Emma Taylor. At the small forward position, it's going to be number 11, Allie Saunders. Most of those 3 play as guards. Looking at the power forward position, number 33, Olivia Sims, and at the center position, a senior, number 32, Maya Dunson. Maya Dunson and Elise Pitts, the 2 seniors here for the Valpo squad, will honor during the pregame actually here at WVUR 95.1 and with 3 jerseys. Also, the managers on the team that I've been able to know throughout my career here at Valpo in terms of announcing to be able to be on here and before this competition as well. So we've seen a lot of success out of this Valpo team in the past, and Maya Dunson and Elise Pitts have been a part of it. So there's stats that I was actually able to break down last night. Spent quite some time doing some math. And for a commentator to do some math, that takes a lot for a commentator to be able to sit down and do a lot of math. Maya Dunson, over her career overall, she played 1,477 minutes. She's been 102 and 321 in field goal, 317 overall, 23% shooting from the 3 of 43 and 185. She's had 286 points overall. These are all being up to this competition. 42 steals over her career with 16 blocks, 92 turnovers, 53 assists, and 161 rebounds, a 2.1 average rating in the game. Going to other senior Elise Pitts, she's played 109 games in Valpo uniform heading into this competition. This is a rate of 110. She played 1,738 minutes over her career, 38% field goal, 121 out of 317, and 349 points in her career overall. And with just 3.2 points per game, she's had 116 steals over her career, with only 8 blocks, 227 turnovers, 154 assists, and 261 rebounds, 100 more than Maya Dunson, who has also played an extra season here at Valpo versus Maya Dunson, and has also averaged 3 points per game. Of course, we're going to break this down even more in our LVJI postgame shows. Make sure after this competition, we haven't even started, but of course, make sure after this competition, you stay tuned for the LVJI postgame show, as we'll be breaking down the stats of this competition following the game, as well as giving you some of the Valley rankings on how positioning is going to work in Valley action overall. So you never know what you're going to get here in the Valley, or what's going to happen. Moving to the keys of the game, which are brought to you by Royal Excursion, the travel partner of Valparaiso Athletics. Valparaiso wants to play the triple drive game and start out with a lot of speed and eliminate the low full-court passing lanes. Really what has happened is a lot of this game has been in the full court. They've been able to not deny the passing lanes down low, which has allowed teams a lot of opportunities. Valpo looking as well. They're going to be wearing their alternative gray uniforms here this afternoon with white trim and black lettering. Belmont in their away navy blue uniforms with red trim and white lettering. Valpo's going to start off with going left to right, and Belmont is going to be going from right to left. Official is going to be heading to the center circle to get action started here. And she's currently talking to both Maya Dunson as well as Tessa Miller, as Miller wins the opening tip-off as Destiny Wells is able to hold in the basketball for the Bruins to start action. Miller makes a high hand up to Harvey. Goes on over to Wells. Wells at the right wing, scans inside, bounce pass in the interior, able to make that one up and in for Tessa Miller. First 2 points of the game goes to the Bruins. Their first possession of the game here this afternoon is Alex Saunders dribbles the basketball top of the key. Brings on out to Dunson. This one's from downtown, breaks up just strong. And a rebound hauled in by Sims down low. She tries going up, misses her attempt as well. And a foul called down low on the Beacons. Looks like it's going to be a number 1 on attack, and it will fall on the redshirt junior coming this season. Look likely not going to be able to be a redshirt after this season. But you never know. 9:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Bartley with a look on over to Miller. Miller contains at the right wing. Now goes up, kicks out, finds McGuff. McGuff tries driving in left, block the up and for this. Rebound hauled in by Dunston. Hands it off to Saunders as she crosses the timeline. Saunders with a pitch on over to Dunston at the left wing. Dunston signals with the right hand, scans inside. Kicks back out right side to release Pitts at the right wing with a handoff to Saunders at the point. Saunders with a lot of time to work with and goes left side for Sims. She tries driving in. Forecourt, left side. Swings that out to Dunston. Gets it to Saunders. For the shot clock. A step back. Jumper. Misses the attempt. Rebound hauled in by Tessa Miller of the Bruins. Miller hands it off to Wells. Dribbles down the floor. Looks inside the lane to Bartley. Kick out. This one's for three from McGuff. Rolls around just short. Rebound hauled in by Valpo's Maya Dunston. Hands it off to Elise Pitts. Pitts with a kick back. Saunders got the right elbow. Looks down low. Kick back out to Dunston in between the circles. Sets up a play. Moves on over to the left side. Dribbles with the left hand. Valpo setting up a point at the right elbow. Kick out Sims from downtown. It's Olivia Sims. That's a three.
And that's the first short space first.
Got a time to find the Beacons. They get their first lead in the game with under 8 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. A 3-2 lead for Valpo. Harvey for the Bruins from downtown. Misses that attempt. And then offensive foul going to be called by Tessa Miller with a reach around over Maya Dunston. That'll be her first and the team's first. 7:48 left to go here in the first quarter. 3-2 Valpo lead. These Pitts crosses the timeline for the Beacons. Receives a screen from Saunders. Contains at the right wing. Pitts looks, scans the inside. Kicks near side wing to Dunston. Throws on over to Sims. Goes top of the key to Saunders. Looks on over the left side for Pitts. To Saunders. Tapa. Now this one's from downtown. All Valpo's points so far here in this competition off of threes. 6-2 Valpo lead up by 4. Bounce past the Miller. Miller looks inside of Bartley in the turnover. After she goes just strong, goes out of bounds. Valpo inbound here with 7:11 left to go in the first quarter. Pitts crosses the timeline for the Beacons. Goes to the right side. Scans the left side. Kick to Dunston at the left wing. Dunston with a hand off to Saunders. Scans on over the right side to Sims. She tries to drive it into the lane. Gets found in the attempt. Misses the shot, so she'll go over the line for a pair. Look at Sims. Thought she had an open lane, but realistically, she just took a shot up and in. And a well-contested shot down low at the right block as well. Sims now at the line for Valpo. Knocks in the first. A 68% free throw shooter. Now 48 of 70 on the season. Sims with the second. Rolls around the iron. Falls through. A 6-point lead now for Valpo. No teams have currently sent anyone in so far as Wells makes a handoff to Bartley. Bartley with a swing around to McGuff at the right wing. McGuff looks inside, now back to McGuff. Swing on the left side to Wells at the top of the key. Looks out over with the right pass in the front court, right side to McGuff. Kicked it back to Wells. Wells to the right wing. Receives a screen, rolls off of it. Now at the point. Looks left side to Harvey. Harvey wings up a three. Bricks on the back of the iron, and that's no good. Beautiful defense here for the Beacons to start off this competition. Definitely can tell that they practice this defensive game coming into this competition against Belmont. Tuck out from the far corner. Just strong as Belmont's McGuff hauls in the basketball. McGuff looks down to Wells as she's on the far side of the floor. Right wing. Looks inside Bartley and gets fouled on the attempt. Fouls going to land on the Beacons. Fouls going to land on number 33, Olivia Sims, her first, and Valpo second. Inbound for the Bruins goes to Wells. Wells singles on over to McGuff. Looks inside. Now, beautiful pass up and in. Bartley knocks that one in by an assist of Tessa Miller. An 8-4 Valpo lead, under 6 left to go here in the first quarter. Alan Saunders for the basketball with the Beacons. Dunston at the point, right side, throws on over to Sims. This one's for three. Olivia Sims knocks that one in, makes it look easy on the play. Belmont looks down in the lane. A kick out, now contained by Wells. She's on top of three, drains one of her own, and answered back after Valpo's able to drain in a three on their last attempt. 11-7, Valpo lead. Dunston at the point. Kicks out on the left side of Saunders. She drives in up high off the glass. Misses the attempt. Miller able to get a rebound for Belmont. Throws it over to Wells. Wells crosses the timeline, goes to the right wing. Scans inside, looks to Bartley. Bartley now at the 10-foot marker. Tries to drive it in and make it up and in. Bartley able to knock that one in off the glass. Just a 2-point lead here for the Beacons. Belmont's currently driving down the floor with a lot of speed, shooting 45% from the field. Valpo shooting at 38. As Sims has the basketball for the Beacons. Tries down the baseline, kick out, Pitts. This one's from Iowa. Rolls just strong off of the rim. And a rebound hauled in by the Bruins. Without the basketball, a deep three. Puts out the back of the iron. Saunders able to on the rebound. Saunders coming down the floor with speed. Finds open lane for a second. Stops. Then goes and drives. Gets blocked. Looked to be almost twice on the floor. McGuff hitting the block. Miller able to knock it out of bounds. And that will head us to a media timeout. 4:21 left to go here in this first quarter, and 11-9 Valpo lead over Belmont. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Lander, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, funded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a deer.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, CASTRAC.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Today's broadcast of Valpo Women's Basketball is brought to you by Culver's. Enjoy the Culver's Deluxe layered with real Wisconsin cheese, crisp lettuce, white tomatoes, pickles, sweet red onion, and our signature mayo. It's topped with a lightly buttered toasted bun. It's our butter burger at its best. Welcome to Delicious. Valpo off to a good start here against Belmont, an 11-9 lead for the Beacons with 4:21 left to go in the first quarter of action. I'm Zach Allen, joining you on this solo broadcast here this afternoon of Valparaiso and Belmont taking on one another in MVC Conference play. This is the last game of the regular season before they head down to the Hoops in the Heartland Tournament, the conference play down there in Moline, Illinois. A wonderful tournament that we've really been announcing and having pretty much every single sweeper so far this season. So if you haven't heard about it yet, then well, now you can hear about it here on the. And we're just about to enter back into action. A 2-point lead for the Beacons as we're going to head here just shortly. Belmont's lead to continue their 13-game winning streak to make it 14 on the season. They've been very successful in Valley play. As they're going to inbound, Valpo gets the inbound to Johnson. Sims rolls on around to Saunders. Saunders gains inside, bullet to Pitts. Kick out to Sims left wing. Sims stops to the left elbow, kick out to Johnson. Looks in the near corner to Ernest. Ernest with a drive and attempt. Puts up a pump fake, the up and the foul. It is called on the Bruins. Leah Ernest will head to the charity stripe to shoot two. Fouls in man number 11, Destiny Wells. Her first. And the Bruins third. For whatever reason, for Belmont, I only had 2 fouls overall on the board. Looks like early a mistake call on Bartley, who also has a foul down on the mark. Ernest not able to make in the second or the first. Goes 0-2 at the charity stripe. Still a 6-point lead with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter for Valpo. Wells now has the basketball for Belmont. Scans inside, kick out to Bartley, and a swing out to Schoenfeld. Misses the attempt. Rebound hauled in by Chessman. Chessman with a signal out goes to Baird. Now to Wells. Wells looks on inside of Bartley. He up the foul. Valpo to get the rebound after the shooting attempt. But the Beacons are going to be called for the foul on the interior. So in on number 4, Elise Pitts. Her first and the Beacons' third with 3:41 left to go. We'll see Madison Bartley head to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. Bartley this season, the 63% free throw shooter, able to knock in the first. Out of Kettering, Ohio, went to the same high school as former Michigan head coach Brady Hoke. You never know what you're going to get when you look at things. Not able to make in the second, splits the pair. A 1-point Valpo lead. Valpo hasn't scored in over 2 minutes of action. Ernest with the basketball. Kick on over to Johnson at the left arc. Hand off to Sims at the point. Swings it on over to Saunders, who kicks it near side to Ernest. Ernest tries driving, goes low baseline, a kick out to Sims in the far corner, puts up a pump fake, a mid-range shot from the forecourt, left side, misses the attempt, just strong. Rebound hauled in by Chessman, who hands it off to Wells. Wells with an underhand pass, Chessman, this one's from downtown, bricks out the front of the rim, and a rebound hauled in by guard, Elise Pitts for the Beacons. Sims contains at the left arc, continues on over to Pitts. Throws left side to Saunders, kick over, Pitts from downtown, knocks it in, Elise Pitts, knocks it in a 3-point lead for Valpo, under 3 left to go in the first quarter. Wells with the basketball, left arc, guarded by Pitts and the Beacons. Wells rolls off right side, kick to Schoenwald, now 3-point attempt by Chessman, rolls off the back of the rim, and a rebound hauled in by Bartley, but a defensive foul going to be called on the Beacons. Number 41, Jada Johnson, looks to be called for the foul. That'll be Johnson's first, and Valpo's fourth with 2:37 left to go. Belmont is going to inbound from the near baseline as Olivia Brown checks in for the Beacons. Cindy Harvey checking back in for the Bruins. Schoenwald looks inside, finds Chessman. Little on out, now contained by Baird. Baird looks inside, kick on out, once again to Schoenwald. Now 3-point attempt by Baird at the top of the key. Misses the attempt. Rebound hauled in by Leah Ernest. As she finds an open lane, tries driving low baseline, offers up a shot, misses the attempt. Chessman able to get the basketball after the shot attempt by Ernest. Belmont coming down the floor with speed. Baird with an inside look to Bartley. She rolls around and finds Chessman down low and up and in. A 2-point lead here now for Valpo. 14-12. Beacons only up by 2. 2 minutes remain as Elise Pitts has the basketball in the near wing. A kick to Ernest at the point. Ernest goes left side. Kick on out. Brown, far corner. This one's an opportunity. Splash! Olivia Brown hits it a 3. Olivia Brown. 5-point lead now in the first quarter for Valpo. Up against Valley Best Belmont. Bartley dribbles to the left side, a handoff to Schoenwald. Schoenwald with a kick to Chessman. Chessman with a little around to Baird. Baird looks on the inside of Bartley. Kick out for Schoenwald. Now continuing the basketball around the perimeter, contained by Chessman. Chessman with an inside look to Bartley. It goes down low to Chessman. The up and the in, the reversal by Chessman. 3-point lead now for Valpo. Looking to make it more as they have the basketball with Elise Pitts with a handoff to Saunders. This one's from downtown. Next in. Valpo just shooting 3 out of the lights here so far in this competition. 6 of 9 from the perimeter, 67% from 3. Under a minute remains here in this first quarter of action. As Harvey makes a handoff to Schoenwald. Schoenwald goes left side for Baird. Baird goes cross court, right wing for Bartley. Bartley rolls to the right side with a handoff to Schoenwald, a kick to Baird. On the left side, inside for Bartley. Misses the attempt and a turnover for the Bruins. as Valpo is able to hold the basketball. Shot clock and game clock separated by 8 seconds. 6-point lead for Allie Saunders as she dribbles in between the circles. Valpo's going to look to take at least one of the 2 last shots here in this first quarter. Saunders rolls off a Johnson screen, a kick out to Ernest. Working the far corner for Brown. Brown tries going left block. Kicks out Saunders. This one's from Iowa. Knocks it in! Allie Saunders lets it away. Down by Saunders. 2-2 from the perimeter. Belmont trying to answer back with the last second 3, which is going to end the first quarter of action. Valpo starting up hot in this game with a 9-point first quarter lead as we're going to head to the second quarter of action. Stay tuned for some more Valpo women's basketball. From Dan Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Wings, etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best sports programming. At Wings, etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings, etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings, etc., at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Kyle and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at KyleFeller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service. Because our Kyle and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. The 2023 Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament hits the hardwood at Feinberg Arena in under a week at the March Center, March 9th through the 12th in Moline, Illinois. Buy your all-session tickets to Hoops in the Heartland today and save $20 just by calling 219-464-5233 or order online at ValpoAthletics.com. Get your tickets and experience Hoops in the Heartland. Valpo with a wonderful start up against Belmont in this competition at the end of the first quarter. Valpo leading by 9, 23-14. Valpo outscored themselves in the entire first half of last game against Murray State, as Valpo wasn't even able to notch into that 23-point marker. They only had 21 overall points in the first half. Now just coming in the first quarter of play, they've already offered up 23 points of action. Valpo on a 6-0 to end that first quarter, and really, Allie Saunders is on fire so far here in this competition. Sitting alongside her is Olivia Sims, also sitting on fire. She's got 8 points, followed by Saunders with 6 points. Sims shooting 50% from the field. Is perfect 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. Saunders 2 of 5 from the field. A perfect 2 of 2 from the perimeter. Keeping Belmont in action here is number 3, Madison Buckley with 5 points. She's 2 of 2 from the field so far here in this competition. And one of the better players so far this season, Destiny Wells, only staying with 3 points. However, she's only taken off a shot and knocked it in for 3. Wells actually averaging 17.4 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and 5 assists in a competition. And looking at Wells so far here in this competition, already has 1 assist in the first quarter of play. Looking around the valley before we get back into action, Illinois State now leading over Indiana State 56-49, 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play, as Elise Pitts has the basketball on the near wing. Pitts looks on over to Ernest, swings on over to Brown. Trying to block the lane, tries to drive it in left side, up and in. Olivia Brown knocks in her first points of the competition this afternoon. Valpo now up by 11, 25-14 over the Bruins. That's Miller at the top of the key. Rolls left side. Looks down low to Wells. Wells guarded by Saunders down low in the paint. Can't count. This one's for three for Chessman. Knocks it in. Chessman able to bring Valpo's lead back down to 8. 9:20 left to go here in the second quarter of action. Saunders at the left wing, throws on over right side to Johnson. Johnson tries to drive it in baseline, kick out. Ernest swing on over to Brown. Brown at the top of the key, swings left side to Pitts. Now in the far corner, contained by Saunders. Saunders at the full court, left side, bounce pass to Pitts, kick out. Ernest tries up an attempt, but stops out of bounds. Good ball movement by the Beacons early here, but just not able to contain her feeding inbounds is Leah Ernest. I think I just created a word feeding. It's actually footing. Once in a while, just not grammatically there. And today, somehow it's that day. Belmont with the basketball as Miller dribbles to the right side, skins inside, looks to Wells, almost misses an opportunity. She almost fell out of bounds, able to keep the basketball in play, contained by Miller. Hand off to McGuff, rolls off a screen, kick left side to Wells at the left wing. 7 on the shot clock. Continues in, floats it up, misses the attempt. Rebound by Ernest. Looks like she elbowed the attempt. I don't even think it touched the front of the rim. Louise Pitts contains at the far arc. Looks at Johnson. Johnson goes down low, right block, kick out. Ernest swings on over to Saunders, skips it to Brown at the right wing. Points with the left hand to signal on over to Pitts and Saunders. Throws left side, right side in the corner, goes right back to Brown. Brown tries driving down low, 5 on the shot clock, drives it up and in. The rim running the battle as the basketball is able to fall into the hoop. Belmont with the basketball here as Chessman kicks out to Wells. A deep three for Wells. Just strong. It's able to get the rebound for the Beacons. Saunders coming down the court. Underhand toss to Pitts. Kick back Saunders. This one's for three. And it's good! Billy Saunders is unstoppable from three. 3 of 3 from the three. A 30-17 point lead. What a game we've got for you here, and we're going to head to a media timeout. Valpo up 30-17, 7:40 left to go here in this competition. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Reiger, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Hey, you! Don't do it! Don't take that job when you can have a career!
I'd love a career, but where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one, stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie! Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Valpo Sports fans, Wings Extend our Grill and Pub, located at 501 North Stillhaven and East Chicago Street, have lunch specials featuring wings, burgers, wraps, wood tips, and more at amazing lunch prices. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by and visit them today. Can't dine in, order online at twogo.wingsetc.com. Wings Extend our Grill and Pub in Valparaiso. I'm Zach Collins bringing you all the Valley women's basketball action here between Belmont and Valparaiso here live at the Arc. A 30-17 point lead for Valpo here in the second quarter with 7:40 left to go. Allie Saunders has just been on fire here in this competition. 3 of 3 from 3, shooting 50% from the field overall in this competition. She just played her heart out here in this competition so far this afternoon. Belmont's looking for an answer back. Currently led by Kendall Chessman and scoring with 7. 3 of 5 from the field is Chessman overall in this game. Still waiting for the signal. Finally get the signal from the scorer's table. We'll start back up in action here. And as Wells is going to dribble the basketball near side as she crosses the timeline. Up to Bartley, swinging it over to Miller. Miller kicks it near side. 3-point attempt here for the Bruins is just short. Tapped by Sydney Harvey. And the rebound hauled in by the Beacons. Saunders with an underhand toss to Brown. Puts up a pump fake. Drives left side. Kick out Saunders on the front court left side. Gets back to Ernest. Swings on over to Brown. Brown continues on over. Skips it. And it goes out of bounds. Parkney getting the last touch on it for the Bruins. About 15 seconds on the shot clock after they inbound this basketball. Now Saunders inbound near baseline. Scans inside. Comes outside to Dunson. Dunson to Pitts, swings back to Dunson at the right wing. Back to Pitts at the point. Kicks on over to Brown. This one's for 3. Airballs the attempt from Olivia Brown on the left wing. Able to hit the basketball is McGuff. McGuff with a kick to Wells. Wells looks inside to Bartley. The up, the roll around, the miss by Bartley. Last touch out of bounds by the Ernest of the Beacons. Belmont will have the basketball to inbound to the far baseline their side. 6:52 left to go here in the second quarter of action. Harvey to inbound, throws it on into McGuff. McGuff swings it around to Wells in between the circles. Wells looks inside, finds Harvey. Looks like Miller goes cross court and out of bounds. She tried to go to McGuff. That pass incomplete. We're showing Wall to check in here for the Bruins, and checking in for the Beacons will be Olivia Sims. She'll check on in for Elise Pitts on Valparaiso. A 32-17 point lead here for Valpo. As Allie Saunders dribbles the basketball down the floor, across the timeline, pivots on over to the right side of Sims, back to Saunders, singles on over to Sims. Kick to Brown, skips it on to Sims, bounce pass inside from Saunders, goes to Ernest at the left elbow. Ernest trying to drive it in, kick out Saunders. Looks left side for Ernest, puts up a pump fake, looks in the far corner for Dunson, puts up a pump fake of her own, offers up a 3, it's just a glass. Rebound hauled in by Madison Parkney of the Bruins in this competition. 6:15 left to go. Wells has the basketball. Step back. Tries to offer up a 3. Puts up a floater and knocks it on. And is Destiny Rose. That one was from the 15-foot marker. A deep floater for Wells. Wells with 5 points here in this competition as Ernest trying to drive in and travels on the attempt. Ernest so far has struggled just a little bit in this competition. Stepping out of bounds and now committing another turnover by traveling up in the lane. Valpo still up by 11. Wells with the basketball left wing. Makes a hand up to McGuff. Goes right back to Wells at the right wing. Checks near side and the block. Down more to Miller. Lost the basketball. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Olivia Brown to the Beacons with 5:44 left to go. Belmont is going to inbound. Showing Wall to inbound near baseline. Kick into Bartley. One around the perimeter, not contained by Wells. Wells is inside for Bartley. The up at the end. Madison Bartley being able to put it by 9. Saunders with the basketball, looks near side to Ernest, swings it around to Sims, kick on over to Brown. Bounce pass goes to Dunson for a corner, contains inside baseline. Bounce pass goes in the lane to Sims, offers up a shot, misses it, hits the bottom of the backboard. Rebound hauled in by Miller. Wells not containing for the Bruins as she tries to drive it down the baseline. The reversal, the up, the miss. Ernest able to hold a rebound after that ball went hard off the glass. Ernest dribbling at the right wing. Looks down over to Brown. Kick on over now to Saunders in the timeout. Taken by the Beacons to stop up action here. Valpo is going to inbound at the near sidelines. going on over to see what timeout Mary Evans is going to want here. She wants a 30-second timeout, and she will take a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay with you here in action. Let's go around the valley and break down some of the scores here. As currently with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter of play, Illinois State is on top by just 6 over Indiana State. That game played right in Terre Haute. With 6:03 left to go in the second quarter of action, Bradley leading over Evansville by 10. And this game, of course, with 5:02 left to go here in the second, Valpo up by 9. If you're just joining us here, I'm Zach Collins. We are on the action here for this Valpo women's basketball competition between Belmont, who's won 13 straight games. Valpo's looking to break down winning streak here in this competition, and what a better night to do it on than Senior Day. Jada Johnson and Elise Pitts will check in here for the Beacons. Sims, Brown, and Dunson standing on the floor. Brown looks at Johnson in the near corner, tries driving low baseline, bounce pass to Dunson off the end. Beautiful pass by Johnston. Goes to Dunson. Puts Valpo back up by 11. Walls looks down low to Bartley. Gets a touch away for just a second, but able to make it up and in is Bartley. Bartley's having one heck of a game for the Bruins so far here in this competition with 7 points. Dunson at the far arc, contains on over. Now contained by Olivia Sims in the near corner. Tries driving in, gets a jump ball called. Possession area going Belmont's way. Found an open lane for just a second, but got double teamed down low. First the jump ball to happen on the floor. Number 23, Nikki Baird, checking in the game here for the Bruins. 10-point lead for the Beacons. 4:25 left to go in the second quarter. Wells with the basketball, dribbles with the right wing. Kicks on over to McGuff at the top of the key. Looks inside with a handoff to Baird. Baird rolls off the screen, gets it to Wells. Wells in between the circles. 9 seconds on the shot clock. With left side to McGuff. McGuff drives in, puts up a floater, misses the shot. A blocking foul called down low. Mary Evans with her arms up in disappointment on the floor. Foul's going to be called on number 41, Jada Johnston. Her second and the team's first. That actually being the first foul here of the second quarter. And we're almost 6 minutes into the second quarter. Just 4:04 remains as McGuff's able to knock in the first one for the Bruins, shooting 65% on the season. Almost up the second. Almost looked like she almost attempted to miss the shot in the second one, but makes it in anyway. Valpo still leads up here with 4 minutes left to go. Pitts swings on over to Brown, skips it to Pitts at the top of the key. Pitts goes left elbow, kick out Dunson, right back to Pitts at the top of the key. Offers an opportunity, pushes off just strong. Wells able to haul on a rebound from Belmont. Comes down near sidelines, rolls on the screen, left side, hands off to McGuff at the right wing. Rolls around the island, that's no good by McGuff. Rebound hauled in by Valpo's Elise Pitts. She throws down the floor with a Hail Mary to Johnston. Back pass incomplete as that one goes out of bounds. 32 left to go. Belmont going to slow up action here as Wells walks across the floor and crosses the timeline near side. Goes to the left side to McGuff. Hand off McGuff. Goes from the left side to right side down low. And a push off down low called up by the high official. Baseline official wasn't going to call it, which angers Mary Evans on the floor. Tessa Miller checking in for the Bruins. Allie Saunders checking in for the Beacons, as well as Emma Tucker. Foul ended up being called on Elise Pitts. That's her second, and the team's second of the quarter. McGuff able to knock in the first, and now the second. McGuff in this competition, currently shooting a perfect 4:04 from the Charity Stripe, a 32-27 Valpo lead. However, Belmont's on a 6-0 run. Valpo looking to stop it here. Saunders at the point. Goes to the right wing to Teka. Back to Saunders, bounce pass with 15-foot mark to Sims. Let's down low to Johnson. Again, off the glass. Jada Johnston knocks in another bucket. 3 minutes left to go here in the second. 34-27, Valpo up. Wells at the far wing. Tries to drop in, blocked away by Johnston. Sims able to contain the basketball for Valpo with a handoff to Saunders. Saunders goes to the right wing, gets fouled on the corner. Got to go over towards the left side. Foul's going to be a number 11, Destiny Wells. That'll be her second and the team's first here of the second quarter. Valpo now with the basketball again. Saunders skips out and over to Johnson. Back to Saunders. Brings it out and over to second. Throws to Johnson in the far corner. Now she goes to far corner to Sims. Tries to drive it in. Inside. And she travels on the pass attempt to Emma Tucker. 2:32 left to go here in the second quarter of action. Belmont's going to bring in a sub of Kendall Chessman. He'll check in for Baird. Baird so far in this competition has made a good defensive effort, however, she has not scored yet. Chessman in this game with 7 points. Second leading scorer for the Bruins. Wells in the near wing, goes far wing to Schoenwald. Schoenwald kicks to Chessman. In the far corner, gets fouled. Looks like this was also going to be on Gia Johnston. Actually, it's going to be called Allie Saunders on the interior. That'll be Saunders first and the team's third. It'll just be a foul called on the floor. As Schoenwald's inbound for the Bruins, kicks into Wells in the right wing. Tries to drive it inside with Miller. As she tries to go up for a shot, gets fouled. Almost looks to be a foul on 2 Beacons. But they're going to call it on 1. As Sims is able to get the foul, pick up her second and the team's fourth with 2:14 left to go. Madison Bartley as well as Cindy Harvey both checking in the game for the Bruins. Now Tessa Miller will head to the line for repair. Shooting 54.1% on the season. A very talented player in both basketball and volleyball in high school. She misses a first attempt. She was the MVP for her high school of Stone Memorial High School in both basketball and volleyball. And she's able to split the pair, makes a second. 6'2" sophomore, knocks them both in. A 34-28, 6-point lead for Valpo. As Tega tries making the basket, snapped out of bounds by McGuff, which will bring in a stop of Olivia Brown for Valparaiso. She'll check in for Olivia Sims on the floor with 2:08 left to go. Inbound goes to Saunders, skips on over to Brown, bounce pass to Johnson near corner. Tries going down low, kicks back out to Brown, swings on over to Saunders with a throw to Tech on the left wing. Tech guarded heavily with a float on over to Saunders at the point. Saunders looks right side of Brown, kick back to Saunders. Bounce pass into Tech at the 15-foot marker, kick back out to Brown as she goes right baseline. Kick to Johnson, down to Saunders, has 1 left to go to shot clock, and a block away. Beautiful block by McGuff. And now we're going to a shot clock violation as Belmont wasn't able to maintain the basketball fully on the floor as Harvey actually fell down to the hardwood on the attempt. Bethany Wells is going to check in here. Tessa Miller for Belmont with 1:42 left to go in the second quarter. Wells has the basketball. She dribbles down the near side of the floor. Goes towards the center of the court, in between the circles. Looks like she's trying to get a 3-point opportunity. She rolls to the left wing. Continues in. Left elbow now by Wells. Kick on out. Goes down low. Bartley misses the attempt. And Saunders able to get in a rebound for Valpo. Looks down the little bullet pass to Brown. She's in the RA. Skips on out to Johnson. She tries driving in. Takes a bounce pass. Makes a bounce pass. A kick ball violation as it goes off the foot of the Guff of the Bruins. 1:08 left to go here. As we'll see Tessa Miller check back into the game for Destiny Wells of the Bruins. Saunders inbound at the near baseline. Valpo is going to bring in another sub of Leah Ernest for Jada Johnston. Saunders inbound for Valpo. Floats on into Brown in between the circles. Throws on over to Dunson. Skips it back to Brown left wing. Tosses it on over to Saunders. Tries a bounce pass inside and a turnover as Miller's able to pick it up. Pass intended to go to Ernest down low in the RA. Kick out for the Bruins. Looks down low now for Bartley. Bartley with a throw on out to McGuff. McGuff tries driving down low. Gets it knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miller. Good reach in by Valpo on the defensive effort to force that basketball out of the hands of the Bruins. 17 seconds in between the shot clock and game clock as 45 seconds remain here in this first half. Saunders at the front court, near side. Dribbles the basketball guarded by Schoenwald. Just dribbles in between the circle, front court, right side, tries to find an opening, receives a screen. Rolls out to the left side, now at the point. Bounce pass goes to Johnson. Okay, got the tackle. An open look for him. Attacker from the corner is no good. Miller able to haul a rebound for the Bruins. 17 seconds remain on the game clock. Shot clock turned off. Harvey in between the circles, rolls to the left side. Makes a hand off to the gut, rolls to the right. Kick near side Harvey. She tries to drive it into the left block, tries off with a shot. A blocking foul is going to be called on the Beacons. Maya Dunson being called for the block. She thought that it was going to be an offensive foul on the Bruins down low. Dunson offering up her first foul. Gaining the team's fifth with just 4 seconds left to go in action. We'll see Cindy Harvey head to the free throw line. Harvey able to make in the first, shooting 66% on the season. So far in this game, this is her first attempt at the charity stripe. Harvey able to make them in both. Puts it at a 4-point Valpo lead with 4 seconds left to go. Inbound to Saunders, 3 in the game clock. Now 2. Saunders whips up a last-second shot, picks up the back of the iron, and that will take us to halftime. 4-point lead for the Beacons as we end the second quarter of action. Belmont outscored Valparaiso by 5 in the second quarter. Valpo able to maintain a lead to add to halftime. We're going to break down all the first half of this competition and then more as we head around the Valley and Top 25. And we talk to a special guest here on WVUR 95.1 FM. We're going to see you back here in 2 minutes on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99. Hungry Howie!
Minutes still matter when it comes to medical emergencies. Chest pain, severe abdominal pain, headache, high fever, and other emergencies need fast medical care. So please, don't put off getting care in an emergency. Northwest Health has implemented strict safety standards so that you can come to us confidently, knowing we are providing a safe place with quality care. Visit northwesthealthercare.com or call 911 in an emergency.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbard use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a deer.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com. CASTRAC.com.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. It was a
Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament returns to Diamond Arena at the Mark in Moline, Illinois, March 9th through the 12th. Reserve your seat at Hoops in the Heartland just by calling 309-764-2001 or order online at NBCQuadCities.com. Get your tickets and experience Hoops in the Heartland. Welcome here to our halftime show, which is brought to you by the IBEW Empowering America team of Northwest Indiana. And if you're just joining us here, I'm Zach Collins, bringing you all the women's basketball action live on WVUR 95.1 FM. As Valparaiso is currently up in this competition at the half, 34-30 over the Belmont Bruins. Belmont, a team who's on currently a 13-game winning streak. And they've been successful this season. I mean, we've seen one of the most successful teams in the Valley this season come from the OVC last year, and they've just been dominating in this game overall against Valpo. And really, they've been able to not go over the line, as Valpo's been able to just shoot the lights out in this game so far and play really good defense against the Bruins. And to end that second quarter, Valpo had no field goals in almost 5 minutes of play. Valpo had none in 3 minutes of play and 5 turnovers in 5 minutes of action. Valpo in this game currently with only 7 turnovers, however. So they've been able to limit the turnover ratio in this game as they had 11 turnovers in the last game, the first half against Murray State. Let's break down some of the point totals and get down some of the line for the Belmont Bruins, who have 30 points here in this competition. Madison Bartley leading things in scoring for Belmont with 9 points, 3 rebounds. She's 4 of 6 from the field, and she's also earned 2 assists on the hardwood. Kevin Chessman sitting with 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field, in only 7 minutes of action. She's also been able to haul in 3 rebounds as well. Sitting right behind Chessman with 5 points is number 11, Destiny Wells. She's 2 of 5 from the field with 1 rebound. Sitting right behind Wells with 4 points on the afternoon is Kaylee McGuff. She's 0 of 4 from the field. All 4 of her points have been offered out from the charity stripe here in this competition. Tessa Miller finishing the first half with 3 points and 4 rebounds, and Cindy Harvey finishing off the first half with 2 points. Both Blair Schoenwald and Nikki Baird played but did not score for the Bruins, as they shot 37% from the field in the first half, 10 of 27 overall, 2 of 14 from 3, just 14.3% from the perimeter. They were 80% from the charity stripe in that competition, and had 5 turnovers in the game overall with 8 assists and 2 steals. Looking for the Valparaiso Beacons with 34 points here in this competition so far. Leading in scoring for the Beacons with 9 points in the game is number 11, Allie Saunders. All 9 points offered up by 3. She has 3 of 4 from the perimeter with 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals so far here in this competition this afternoon. Sitting right behind her with 8 points is number 33, Olivia Sims, as she's 2 of 5 from the field. Perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line and 2 of 2 from 3. 1 assist, just 2 turnovers for Sims so far here in this game. Sitting right beside Olivia Sims with 7 points is number 2, Olivia Brown. All 7 points coming in the second quarter of action, and she's 3 of 4 from the field. Sitting right behind Brown with 2 players with 3 points so far here in this competition of Emma Taka and Elise Pitts. Pitts also with 3 rebounds in this game and 2 assists to add on to 3 points as well. 2 players with 2 points of Maya Dunson as well as Jada Johnson. Dunson also able to get 5 rebounds in this game so far. And one player who played but did not score here in this game, number 22, Leah Ernest, in the first half of action, played 10 minutes and 27 seconds with 0 of 1 from the field and committed 2 turnovers, but has been able to pull in 4 rebounds to make it to her average of around 8 rebounds a game, 4.5. Valpo shot 44.4% from the field with 12 of 27, making 2 more shots than the Bruins, which puts it at a 2-point deficit, a 34-30 lead here for Valpo. They're 8 of 16 from the perimeter, shooting 50% from 3. They're 2 of 4 from the free throw line as well, shooting just 50% from the charity stripe. Valpo had 5 points off of turnovers. Belmont was 7 points off of turnovers. Valpo only turned the basketball over 7 times. They're also able to offer up 3 steals and get 10 assists on the board and 2 blocks as well off on. All blocks in this game have been on the Beacon side of action. 16 points in the play in the paint for the Bruins and 8 for the Beacons. 1 second chance point for Belmont and 0 for Valpo. No fast break points for either team. A rare statistic to see no teams with any fast break points so far here yet. And 7 bench points offered up by Belmont and 9 for Valpo. Rizzo to put it at a 34-30 lead here for Valpo over Belmont. We're going to head to another break as we'll see you back here in 2 minutes on our IBEW Empowering America Team halftime show. See you back here in 2 minutes on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Hey, you! Don't do it. Don't take that job when you can have a career.
I'd love a career. But where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one, stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org. Stay free powering Northwest Indiana.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
NBC's student athletes are positively impacting the communities where they live by sharing views and fostering a climate for change for future Valley pioneers. To learn more about mobilizing voices for change, visit NBC-sports.com/OneValley. We're back here on the IBEW Empowering America Team on Northwest Indiana halftime show. I'm Zach Collins. Valpo is currently leading 34-30 as we're currently sitting at the half to the Bruins, who have been on a 13-game winning streak in Valley play. They've been one of the more impressive teams. They're actually tied for first right now with the Redbirds. And speaking of the Redbirds, with 48 seconds left to go, looks like Illinois State's going to take a win over Indiana State. And Indiana State was up for the entire, or at least the majority of the first half of action. Illinois State turned the game around, really turned the tides on that competition to be able to be up 82-69 with 48 seconds left to go in the fourth. Valley looking for their first win in Valley play. And they have an opportunity to do it here this afternoon against Evansville, as the Braves are currently up 32-18. A couple of games will be taking place in just about 3 minutes. SIU's going to be taking on Drake, Murray State taking on UIC, and Missouri State is going to be taking on UNI in NBC action. Looking to the top 25 of women's college basketball, number 2 Indiana is taking on Ohio State, a 23-12 lead for the Hoosiers over the Buckeyes with 8 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And a fun fact, actually, about this, Caitlin McGuff of the Belmont Bruins, who's actually played successfully so far here in this competition this afternoon. Her father is the head coach of Ohio State's women's basketball program, as she's playing here for the Bruins this afternoon. Her father leading the Buckeyes in that competition up against the Hoosiers. And, I mean, both of them are in the state of Indiana currently right now. And McGuff, the native out of Columbus, Ohio. Her mother also played at Notre Dame, was the second most in rebounding in Notre Dame history at the time, one of the most successful players in Notre Dame basketball. And talking to Renee Turpa before this game, she said that McGuff's mother, Betsy McGuff, will be here in this competition. So she is here actually for this game, supporting her daughter in this competition against Valparaiso. This is the last game of the season for both of these teams, Valpo and Belmont. Belmont's looking to make a big run in the Valley, especially coming into that Valley tournament. They can even make a big run in the women's NCAA tournament. As last year, they were actually able to beat Oregon. They lost in the second game of the 32 round. But, man, they have really played some excellent basketball here in the last 8 years for Belmont. And, man, they've really shown that they belong here in Valley action. A couple of final scores as well from top 25. Louisville holding Notre Dame, number 10 Notre Dame in the country, under 40 points, 64-38. The final score, Louisville wins over Notre Dame, and man, that's a game that nobody expected to end up in that big of a score figure in terms of that deficit. No one expected that, and a bigger deficit as well. A game that was kind of predicted. Number 9 UConn beating Georgetown by 30. A final score of 69-39. UConn takes a win over Georgetown in that competition. But man, Notre Dame, a game that everyone expected to be one of the better games to watch, as Louisville was able to really pull in a great game against Notre Dame in the regular season. Notre Dame won off a last-second shot in that matchup. But man, Louisville really getting revenge on the Fighting Irish in that competition to be able to put the Irish in the place to put it in that stance. As both teams are taking the floor back here, thank you for joining us on our IBEW halftime show. Every halftime show this season has been brought to you by IBEW and the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. As we're entering back in action in the second half, the Valpo is going to be going from right to left and Belmont from left to right. Valpo first with the basketball. A pass to the 15 from Marcus Saunders. Offers a pump fake, tries to get down low to Dunston. That one goes out of bounds off the foot of a Bruin. Score currently 34-30. I'm Zach Collins, bringing you all the action here this afternoon for Valpo women's basketball. And as an inbound pass goes to take a swing on over to Dunston. This one's from downtown. Maya Dunston able to put Valpo up by 7. Belmont with the basketball once again here as Miller. Far side arc. That's a handoff to Wells. Wells rolls off a screen, kick back to Barley at the point. Barley a bounce pass down low to the right block of Miller. She tries to kick out, goes to Barley, but a foul is going to be called on the interior. It's going to be on Valparaiso's number 1, Amateka. For second and the team's third. Belmont to inbound with Sydney Harvey in the near baseline. Looks on over, finds McGuff, a kick on over left wing to Wells. Wells with a floater inside to Miller, offers up a shot and misses, but gets fouled. Foul's going to be called on number 11, Allie Saunders. That'll be Saunders' second and the team's second of the third quarter. Two early fouls for the Beacons in this game for the third quarter. Valpo still up by 7. Tessa Miller heading to the free throw line, able to knock in the first at the charity stripe. Miller in this game with 4 points, averages about 6.4 points per game. And she knocks them both in to make it 5 points in this competition. Pitts now with the basketball for Valpo. She crosses the timeline, swings right side to Sims, kick back to Pitts, rolls on over to Saunders. Saunders dribbles to the right side, skips back over to Pitts, throws back to Saunders. Now playing patty cake with one another to kick on over to Sims. Sims with a kick out to Saunders, hands off to Pitts at the point. Pitts tries making a pass, almost a turnover, makes it a turnover. Is Harvey able to get in a steal off Elise Pitts? Hands it off to Wells. Wells bounce back inside to Bartley and a throw out to Harvey as she misses the three-point attempt. Thompson able to get a rebound for Valparaiso as she throws it on over to Allie Saunders. 5-point lead for the Beacons, 8:35 left to go in the third quarter. Pitts at the far arc, kicks inside to Sims as she's at the low right block. Goes cross with the up, misses the attempt as it's just short. Bartley able to haul the basketball for Belmont. And a handoff to Wells as Wells is going to come down the floor for the Bruins. Retains at the near wing is Wells. Bounce pass up high to Bartley. Bartley at the right elbow with a handoff to Harvey. Harvey now goes towards the left wing with a handoff to McGuff. Goes over the right side, kick back McGuff to Harvey. Distance from Iowa. Breaks off the back of the rim. And goes out of bounds after his last touch by Bartley. Bartley was trying to really get a rebound. But goes out of bounds on the attempt. 22, Leah Ernest is going to check back in for Valparaiso. Ernest so far with no points in this competition and 10 minutes of action. Hits for Valpo in between the circles, loses the basketball, makes a bad pass as it goes right to the hands of Sydney Harvey and the Bruins. Kicks back to Miller, goes down low, that offensive foul is going to be called on Madison Bartley.
Madison Bartley, that's her second.
Push off her second, and the team's first of the quarter. 7:43 left to go, 5-point lead for Valparaiso. Saunders with a fake to the left side, goes right side to Pitts, now back to Saunders, swings it on over to Teka. Kicks back to Saunders, top of the key, bounce pass inside to Ernest. Kick to Dunson, swing on out to Pitts in the far corner, knocks it in! Shot from downtown, falls through. Top on an 8-point lead, 7:20 left to go in the third. Wells at the far wing, bounce pass to Miller at the right elbow. Miller looks inside. Takes a handoff, goes towards the right side, and underhands it to Wells. Wells at the near wing, guarded by Ernest. Goes towards the left side. A kick out, a three by McGuff. Hits the glass, no good. Ernest able to get a rebound for Valpo. Kick on over to Saunders. She's at the 15-foot marker. Spins out to Dunson at the right arc. Hands it back off to Saunders. She goes at the top of the key. Right side of Pitts, left side of Saunders. Kicks to Teka at the left wing. Looks inside of Ernest at the left, and a go kick back out. Teka, this one's from downtown, just strong. As McGuff is able to grab that basketball for the Bruins, hands it out to Wells as she crosses the timeline. Wells floats it into Bartley, down low, kick back out to Wells, offers up a big mid-range jumper for Wells, is no good. Pitts able to grab that basketball for a rebound. 6:20 left to go. Valpo with an 8-point lead. Valpo's also been able to hold Belmont in 2 minutes and 45 seconds scoreless. Kick to Ernest, she tries looking for an open lane down low, offers up a shot, misses that attempt. Teka able to get a rebound, but a throw on back to Pitts. Rolls it on over to Saunders at the right wing, kick back to Pitts, throws on left side to Teka. Offers up a fake, loses the basketball, a turnover for Teka as Wells is able to get the basketball. Goes down the floor with a Hail Mary, and a save by Harvey, the up, the in by Miller. Beautiful job by Sydney Harvey to bust herself all the way down the floor. Man, she really came down with her with speed. Saunders trying to answer back with a three-point attempt as it hits the side of the rim and goes out of bounds. Belmont to bring in 3 subs. It's going to be number 10, Schoenwell, number 14, Chessman, as well as number 23, Bear. Valpo also going to bring in the sub of number 2, Olivia Brown, into this competition as well. 6-point lead, 5:36 left to go here in this game. As Wells has the basketball for Belmont. Dribble serve to near sidelines, guarded by Elise Pitts. Goes down the floor, kick out, near corner, Chessman from downtown, knocks it in. Beautiful job by Cal Jason to knock that one in. Ernest trying to make one of her own, and that's the next one. Ernest with the grab that chucked the up the end. We're going to take a timeout with 5:13 left to go here in the third quarter. 42-37. Valpo leads over Belmont. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Ben Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. and flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbard choose their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a deer.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Gastonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
No matter the job at hand, Gastonia Tractor has the John Deere equipment with the power to take it on. Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, Gastonia Tractor has the mowers, tractors, and implements you need. Find a location near you at castrac.com. We're back here as Valpo is currently up 42-37 over one of Valley's best. We're looking to be Valley's second Belmont Bruins, as Illinois State has just taken an 11-point win over Indiana State. Final score 82-71. Both teams were tied for first, so Belmont looking to get this one here to be tied for that first spot heading into the Valley Conference Tournament. You never know what to expect here, as Valpo is able to keep this lead here in this game. 5:13 left to go in the third quarter. A couple of other scores from around the Valley in current play. Bradley up on Evansville by 9, 37-28. Braves lead over the Purple Aces in that competition. SIU and Drake, as long as Murray State and UIC, and sitting alongside that, Missouri State and UNI all now in action on the first quarter of play. Both teams with over 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter in those games. Looking into this game as well, the leading scorer for Valparaiso, Allie Saunders, has not scored yet here in the second half. She's had 9 points overall in this game, 3-5 from the perimeter. She was a perfect 3 on 1 point in the first half. Finished off 3-4 in the first half. Overall, only offered up 1 3-point opportunity so far for the Beacons. Looking on the opposite side of things, Donna Chessman with 10 points in this game, but she's 4 of 6 from the field. And Madison Bartley with 9 points for the Bruins on the opposite end of things. Belmont coming down the floor. Official blowing the whistle to signal that there's a wet spot on the floor. Able to clean things up down low. Something you got to make sure player safety is important. Got to stop play to be able to make sure that no one's falling because of a pile of sweat sitting on the floor. That's not something you want to fall into. Well, the kick over to Chessman. Looks down low to Bartley at the left block. She gets double teamed down low in the RA. Bounce pass goes outside of Chessman. Goes cross court near side of Schoenwald. Schoenwald tries to drive it in right block. Sam on the shot clock. Pitches it to Miller. Excuse me, that's to Baird. And she tries to drive it in a blocking foul called on the Beacons. Number 4, Elise Pitts. That's her third foul. And the team's third of the third quarter.
Oh, Elise Pitts, that's her third. Team third. We have
Johnson. He is going to check in here for the Beacons. She's going to go in for Maya Dunson. But not before we take a media timeout. 42-37. 4:47 left to go here in the third quarter. Valpo up over Belmont. We're going to see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Langer, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When it comes to keeping your family healthy, annual wellness visits with a healthcare provider are key. Routine exams and screenings can identify potential health issues early when they are most treatable, and Northwest Medical Group has implemented strict safety standards so that you can come to us confidently, knowing we are providing a safe place with quality care. We're committed to helping you stay well, and we offer both telehealth and in-person visits. Schedule an appointment today at mycarenorthwesthealth.com.
At Wings Etc., we love sports, so much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best of sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings, and so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso, and online at wingsetc.com.
Kyle and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strives to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at Kyle-Feller.com. Look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service. Because at our Kyle & Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Before you make the trip to Bowling for the 2023 NBC Women's Basketball Tournament, be sure to download the Hoops in the Heartland app presented by Great Southern Bank. Get all the information you need to know about the tournament schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Log on to NBCQuadCities.com or head to the App Store to download the Hoops and the Heartland app. We're back here in the Athletics and Recreation Center for some more Valpo women's basketball. We're going to be commercial-free throughout the remainder of the third quarter as I'm Zach Collins. Valpo currently on top 42-37 against one of the Valley's best, Belmont Bruins. Bruins have been able to kind of inch their way back into this game as they outscored Valpo by 5 in the second quarter. Valpo currently still outscoring that 8-7 here in the third quarter of action. Valpo shooting 44% from the field, a perfect 50% from three as they're 10 of 20. Belmont shooting 36% overall from the hardwood, and they're sitting at just 17% shooting from three. 3 of 18 overall here in this game as the Bruins Schoenwald is going to inbound from the far baseline. Looks on inside, quickly, she misses her attempt. Sauter's able to get a rebound on her hands to Ernest. She's going to cross the timeline of the near sidelines and hand it off to Saunders, who's in between the circles. Bounce pass to Pitts, swings on over to Brown at the left wing. She tries going low, but baseline kicks out. Ernest from downtown, just too short by Leah Ernest. Probably able to haul a rebound for the Bruins. Hands it out to Wells. Wells is at the right wing. Kick to Bartley at the point. Bartley rolls over to the right side with a hand out to Wells, and she's at the right wing. Tries going to the 15-foot marker in the lane, offers up a floater, bounces up the front of the rim, the back of the backboard, and falls through. Put it on a three-point competition here in the third quarter with 4 minutes left to go. Valpo's Olivia Brown with the basketball. She goes to low RA, tries to go with a high pass on over to Ernest. Throws it right out of bounds towards the Valpo bench. Two miscommunication efforts. Brown kind of setting up the same play. They're trying to just use her as a decoy. Even as Keegan Thompson, who called the game with me last game against Murray State, they kind of act as her as a decoy. She tries to go down low, makes a kick out to an open player on the far corner, able to make that one up and in. As Bartley tries an attempt down low, misses the shot. Valpo foul is going to be called. It's going to be on Janet Johnston, her third, and the team's fourth here of the third quarter. And Tessa Miller will check in here for Belmont. Madison Bartley will now head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Bartley was the NBC Player of the Week on January 23rd as she misses the attempt there, as well as February 6th of this year. A very successful player of Bartley, alongside with teammate Destiny Wells, another great player who we haven't really gotten into of how good she is in conference play. Even non-conference play was a very successful player. as Bartley's able to make in the second. Put it at a 2-point game. Inside look to Ernest. Bounce pass down low goes to Johnson. She gets triple team. Now low misses the attack. However, she pulls it away on the Ernest showing her strength there. And she just drove up. Able to make that shot up and in. Pass down low. Johnson hits it out of bounds. As Bartley was trying to get to the basketball. Bruins will inbound on the far baseline. 4-point lead. 3:13 left to go for Valpo. Showing wall to inbound for Belmont. Gets it to Bartley. To Miller. Swings it on and around to Wells. Wells with a floater to Bartley at the left elbow. Bolts it on out to Baird. Now goes cross court. Now contained by Schoenwald. And a 3-second violation call. Actually, it could have been Kelly McGuff as she's checking in. And it couldn't be number 21 either because Belmont doesn't have a number 21. Likely down low was number 22, Tessa Miller, who was down low in the lane. Blitz at the right wing, so he's on over to Saunders, kick to Brown near wing. Looks into Ernest, now to Brown. Brown offers number 3, can knock down, as it picks up the back of the rim. Ernest able to haul a rebound and a foul call down low on Belmont's Tessa Miller. She gets her second and the team's second of the third quarter. 2:48 left to go. A 4-point lead for Valparaiso. Inbound goes to Brown at the point. Now with the bounce pass to Pitts. Swings on over to Ernest. Kick back to Pitts. As Pitts tosses to Saunders. Back to Pitts. Hands off Brown. This one's from downtown. Lifts it in! Olivia Brown gets a 3. Olivia Brown. 7-point lead. 2:30 left to go in the third quarter for Valpo. Wells with an open look from 3. Just short as it hits the top of the iron. Rebound hauled in eventually as it was saved by Pitts and from the Belmont bench. She stepped out of bounds and kicked to Brown. She tries driving in, offers up a shot. Falls to the side. Misses the attempt. Rebound hauled in by the Bruins. And a technical foul is going to be called on Mary Evans, it looks to be. Evans is angrier than I've seen her in quite some time. The officials missed about 3 foul calls, one of which was on Belmont, 2 of which were on Belmont, one of which was on Valpo. Officials just allowing a little bit too much in play. But the technical foul issued on head coach Mary Evans. Belmont is going to bring in a sub at number 5, Sydney Harvey. She'll check in for number 23, Nikki Baird. Also bring number 11, Destiny Wells, to the free throw line. That'll be Valpo's 5th overall foul as well. Here in the third quarter with 2:09 left to go. Wells able to knock in the first, shooting 83% on the season. In her first attempt so far this season. Wells looks for the second, knocks down one, and Belmont will inbound the basketball now as number 14, Kelly Shesman, will check in for number 22, Tessa Miller. Belmont to inbound on the near sidelines, a 5-point game. Valpo still leads as Wells has the basketball in between the circles for the Bruins. Dribbles guarded by Pitts. Tries to make a handoff to McGuff. McGuff takes it, almost loses it for a second, makes another handoff to Chisman. Rolls off a screen, goes towards the right wing with an underhand bullet pass to Wells. She's able to contain the basketball. Now dribbles it down the floor. Tries off a shot and misses. Ernest able to get in the rebound for Valpo as she comes down the floor. Goes to the right wing. Rolls on out now. In the front court, right side. Hands off to Saunders. Throws on over to Pitts. Brings on back to Saunders. Saunders with a toss to Brown, left wing. She tries to drive it in. Goes low, left baseline. Pick out Saunders. Tosses to Pitts. Pitts looks on over to Johnson. Johnson tries to find a player. Ends up going to Saunders. 5 on the shot clock. Kick to Brown. This one's from downtown. Gets it blocked away for a second. And Wells able to haul in the basketball for Belmont with 1:14 left to go in the third quarter. Wells in the mid-range jumper right out and knocks that one down. And now just a 3-point game with 1:05 left to go in the third quarter. 3-point lead for Valpo. As Brown with the basketball toss back to Saunders. Toss back to Brown. Brown looks back, finds Saunders. Slipped out over Pitts, back to Saunders. Bounce pass goes to Brown, left wing. She tries transitioning in, kick out Ernest. Running around Saunders, throws to Pitts. Hang out Johnson. Valpo moving the basketball around the perimeter with speed. Pitts loses the basketball. He tries driving in, and Wells able to get the basketball for the Bruins. Take out Schofield, looks to Harvey. Harvey travels back to the left wing. Valpo will take over after a turnover by the Bruins. Harvey, Sims as well as Miller will check in for the Beacons and the Bruins. Shot clock and game clock separated by 2.4 seconds apiece. Saunders will cross the timeline here to start action for Valpo. Likely to take the last second shot in this third quarter. 47-44, Beacons lead, 17 seconds left to go. Front court, right side, Saunders dribbles, waits till it's 10 on the shot clock, and now she gets back into action. Bounce back to Brown at the left wing. Brown looks near corner to Sim. She tries driving in, loses the basketball, and it goes on over, and then fouls Harvey, and Harvey falls hard on the floor. Sims trying to get a rebound. That's her third foul, and team 6. Belmont did have possession of the basketball at that point of time, so they will go to the free throw line. Will not be counted as an offensive foul here in this game. 2.7 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Valpo up by 3. Harvey looking to devastate that lead as she'll go to the free throw line. So far in this game, Harvey, as she knocks in the first, has been a perfect 3 of 3 after that make. 2-point lead for Valpo, 2.7 seconds left to go here in the third. Harvey with a look, and up the end. 1-point lead now for the Beacons. Ernest looking to Hail Mary it, and she goes into Saunders. She tosses down the floor, but before time expires, it's the top of the backboard, and that will end things in the third quarter. A 47-46 point lead for Valparaiso, just up by 1 to end the third quarter. You never know what can happen here in this game. We're going to take a media timeout. We'll talk about this game as well as what's next happening in the fourth quarter of action. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From that reminder, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Minutes still matter when it comes to medical emergencies. Chest pain, severe abdominal pain, headache, high fever, and other emergencies need fast medical care. So please, don't put off getting care in an emergency. Northwest Health has implemented strict safety standards so that you can come to us confidently, knowing we are providing a safe place with quality care. Visit northwesthealthercare.com or call 911 in an emergency.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie!
How do you make the most of your land? Sean does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbard choose their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like it here.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Gastonia Tractor. Visit us online at gastrac.com. CASTRAC.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. The Missouri Valley Conference is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX legislation. Throughout the academic year, the Valley is honoring pioneers and league institutions who paved the way for current and future student athletes. To learn more about the conference's Title IX recognition plans, visit MECsports.com/Title 950. I'm Zach Collins. Bruins, bringing you live women's basketball action here on WVUR 95.1 FM. We've got 10 minutes of action left here in this game. And man, it's been a great one. A 1-point lead here for Valpo, as it's 47-46 over Belmont. Of course, stay tuned after the following contest for the LBJI postgame show. Every postgame show brought to you by the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. LBJI is proud to be the official team positions of Valparaiso University Athletics. And looking into this game, it's just been impressive efforts overall by both of these teams. Belmont to be able to edge their way back into this game. Valpo with lower scoring quarters in the second. Averages up by just 2 here in the third. Overall, point total just 24 points in the second and third quarter. But 21 points overall just in the first alone. Valpo's going to have to look to do more here coming into this fourth quarter, especially defensively in this game, as Belmont has outscored them in both the second and third quarters, 16-11 and 16-13 in this game. Lots of action to happen left here. 1-point lead for the Beacons as we're about underway to start the fourth quarter of action. Bruins going from left to right, Beacons from right to left, and inbound to Wells. Ashley goes towards the right wing. Bounce pass up high to Miller. Miller with the handoff to Wells at the top of the key. Wells rolls off the screen, drives down the right hand, layup, scoop, and score by Destiny Wells, able to get that one in. And a lead here for the Bruins, the first lead for Belmont since early in the first quarter. With about 8 minutes left to go, as they were up 2-0. Valpo led ever since up until this point. They're looking to get back into that lead. Bounce pass goes to Dunston from Brown. And it is Dunston. Dunston with a beautiful play, able to knock that one in. As Wells contains the basketball at the left arc. Wells guarded by Saunders, rolls off a screen, goes right side, ball right elbow, contains in, looks to Miller, she almost loses the basketball in the lane, a kick out to Barley. Barley makes a handoff to McGuff at the top of the key, 8 on the shot clock. Kick out Barley in the far corner, looks inside to Miller at the left front, swings it with a bullet near side to Harvey, takes a mid-range jumper, misses the attempt on a shot clock violation. Beautiful defense off of the Beacons to start this quarter. Couldn't ask for any better play by Valparaiso to start off in this competition. 1-point lead for Valpo, 8:44 left to go in this game. Saunders with a ring around to Brown, skip back over to Saunders, who makes a bounce pass, 15-foot marker to Ernest. Kick out to Sims. Sims tries driving into the lane, stops, spins, looks up, just short as it runs off the front of the rim. Rebound hauled in by number 22, Miller, hands it off to Wells. Wells attempted drive in. But a whistle is going to be blown before the attempted drive in by Wells. It's going to be a foul on Maya Dunston on the Beacons. First second in the team's first year of the fourth quarter with 8:23 left to go. Belmont inbounds to Miller. The roll around now continued by Wells. Hands off to Miller, top of the key. Hands right back off to Wells after the initial handoff. Points and they roll to the right side. Goes down low is Wells. Off again, shot down low in the and one for Destiny Wells. Beautiful dribble drive inside, puts that one up and in. Wells will head to the free throw line to make it a 2-point lead for the Bruins as it is a current 1-point lead, 50-49, with 8:09 left to go. Lee Fitz will check in for Olivia Brown for the Beacons. And Mateka will also check in here for Valpo. She'll go in for Olivia Sims. Olivia's now on the bench for Valpo, as Wells is looking to offer up a 3-point play. Wells goes up and in for Destiny Wells. 2-point lead here now for Belmont. Valpo's going to have to look for an answer back. They really want to earn that shooting that they had early in the first quarter of action. Take out the tack at the left lane, takes a mid-range jumper, misses the attack from the four-corner left side. And a rebound hauled in by McGuff of the Bruins. Hand out to Wells. Wells floats inside and a knock away by Johnson. Quick turnover for the Beacons with that opportunity offered up as Saunders comes down the floor with speed off and up the layup, gets fouled in the attempt, but she'll go to the line for a pair. Fouls going to be number 12. Kellen McGuff, their first, and the team's first in the fourth quarter. Belmont has limited their fouls in this game. The highest scoring fouling quarter was in the first, as they had 3. Saunders able to knock in the first at the line. 1-point game, Belmont up by 1, 7:44 left to go in action. But you have to knock them both in. We're tied all at 51. Destiny Wells with the basketball, far side of the floor, crosses the Valpo logo. As she rolls to the right side now here. Tames at the near wing. Carly Ernest, pitch to Miller, kicks back out to McGuff. This one's from downtown, misses the attempt on the air ball. Johnson able to grab it up that basketball for Valpo. Goes down the floor, kicks the fits, rolls on over to Teka. And whips it to Saunders. Bounce pass goes right back to Teka on the bounce pass right wing. Saunders skips it on over to Ernest, back to Saunders. Toss out over to Teka. Back to team by Saunders, mid-range jumper, falls through. Gets off the back of the iron hard, then falls on through, touches the bottom of the net. Puts Valpo a 2-point lead, under 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Valpo on the screen, mid-range jumper from 15 feet, no good. Ernest able to grab the basketball, who pitches it on over to Saunders, crosses the timeline, goes down the floor with speed, and falls to the floor as she gets fouled. Foul's going to be a number 11, Destiny Well. Actually, they're calling a number 5, Sydney Harvey. But they're her first and the team's second. Blair Schoenwald will check into the game for Sydney Harvey for the Bruins. 6:45 left to go. Saunders to inbound for a baseline. Kicks into Teka. Pitches on over to Ernest, back to Teka at the left wing. Teka loses the basketball after a strip away of Schoenwald. Picks it up is Wells. Wells coming down the floor, offers up a floater, and knocks it in. Hits it back, and that's tie game, 53 ball. Valpo coming down the floor with speed of Ellie Saunders, and spins around. The handoff to Teka in between the circles. Pitches it back to Saunders, bounce pass to Dunson left wing. To Saunders, now to Teka, back to Saunders. Saunders whips it on over to Teka with the 10th and drive it. Goes low baseline, kick out to Ernest at the near corner. Now the far corner contained by Teka. Ball over to Saunders, pitch on over to Pitts. Pitts with a step back jumper, almost airballs the attempt, but it touches the back of the rim, so the back of the backboard. And a rebound for the Bruins with 6 minutes left to go here in action. McGuff with the toss on over to Wells. She knocked that one down. And a 3-point lead obtained by the Belmont Bruins, which forces Mary Evans to take a timeout. That'll be her second timeout. Team left with 2 to go in this game. 56, 53, 5:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. So don't go anywhere. Don't turn that dial. We'll see you right back here in 90 seconds. From Ben Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at Ticket Smarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on Ticket Smarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. Ticket Smarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. Ticket Smarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Today's broadcast of Valpo women's basketball is brought to you by Calumet Brewing and Bud Light. It's for the fans. Belmont fans currently happy with how their team's been performing here in the later part of this competition, as they're currently up by 3 over Valparaiso with 5:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Currently, it is 56-53 Bruins over Beacons. Looking also in the fourth quarter with 5:25 left to go. Bradley is up top, Evansville 52-44. Bradley's not won in almost 90 days of action. A 52-44 lead for the Braves over the Purple Aces. Also, with 6:25 left to go in the second quarter of action, Drake up top, SIU 26-18, an 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. UIC currently leading by 5 over Murray State with 3:28 left to go in the second quarter. With 4 minutes and 32 seconds just updated on the screen. UNI up top, Missouri State by 5, 35-30. And Illinois State and Indiana State, an earlier game here in Valley action, finishing off Redbirds. Currently are at top of the Valley standings. If Belmont wins here in this competition this afternoon, there will be time for first place positioning with the Redbirds. So anything can happen here in action. Definitely stay tuned for the LBJ post-game show, where we'll try to break down everything in that post-game show in terms of Valley standings and Hoops in the Heartland tournament action. As we're back in play here. Allie Saunders for the Beacons at the front court. Left side, bounce pass over to Pitts. Wings it on over to Ernest, who goes in between the circles. Ernest look over to Pitts, right wing, back to Ernest at the top of the key. Ernest drives down, now puts up a shot. Knocks it in off the glass. Beautiful attempt by Ernest. 1 point lead remains here for Belmont. 56-55, 5:26 left to go in this game. The commercial free as Wells offers up a 3-pointer for Belmont. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Beacons. After it's out by Wells from 3. Shot clock will reset as Schoenwald will have the inbound on the far baseline. Pushes it on in, and the easy up and in by Bartley. Almost no defense offered up on Bartley on that inbound attempt. Saunders now contains a basketball for the Beacons. Pushes it over right side to Brown. Tries to drive it in. It goes to the lane. Throw on out to Ernest. Hits it from the near corner. Chains it! Ernest walking away like she owns the floor. Knew that one was knocking in. Didn't even look back to see if she made it. That shows confidence in a player. We're down here at 58 all. Belmont with the basketball. That's McGuff. Tries to make it a handoff, pitches it on out to Wells now at the top of the key. You see the screen by Miller, just stands at the point. Goes off right side. Offers a right-hand layup, misses the attempt. But will go to the line for a pair after a foul on Valpo's Allie Saunders. Over to Saunders third. And the team's third as well. 4:31 left to go. We're tied game 58 all. Wells looking to make it a 2-point lead for the Bruins as she goes to the charity stripe 4-2. Knocked in 16 points in the last game against UIC. Able to knock in the attempt there, as she now has 22 points here in this game this afternoon. Season high was 35 against Indiana State, so unless she goes on a shooting spree to end this competition, she's not going to be able to reach her season high overall. And she is able to make them in both, however. Put herself at 22 points and a 2-point lead for Belmont. Pitch out, Ernest tries kicking out, throws back out to Saunders, runs left wing to Brown. Brown tries going in. They're reaching now on the Bruins. Number 3, Madison Bartley, called for her third foul, the team's third foul. Both teams with 3 fouls. Valpo with 1 timeout left. Bruins with 3. A toss in goes to Dunson at the top of the key. Goes on over to Ernest. Back to Dunson. Rings on over to Saunders. Saunders the pitch to Dunson. Screens on over to Ernest. Tries to drive him in one. Step back kick out. Saunders rolls around to Pitts. Pitts tries driving in. Pitch out Dunson. This one's from 3. Just short. Brown able to haul the rebound for Valpo. Kick on out to Ernest. The bounce pass to Brown. Brown tries scanning, draws the left side, then just drives in the lane and a pitch out. Saunders off his other 3-pointer. Airballs the attempt and hit a defender McGuff right in her face. Belmont coming down with forward speed. They throw down the floor to Schoenwald. Picks up the back. Picks able to grab a rebound for Valpo. 3:37 left to go. A 2-point lead for the Bruins. Bounce pass goes to Brown, offers up a three, knocks it in! Olivia Brown knocks in the three! Olivia Brown! A 1-point lead for Valpo. 3:24 left to go in the fourth. 61-60. Beacons over Bruins. Runs with the basketball, offers in a mid-range jumper, knocks that one down for two. A deep two put back a 1-point lead for the Bruins. Saunders rolls on over to Pitts. Pitts skips back over to Saunders. Bounce pass to the 15-foot marker to Ernest as she tries to drive it down low. Offers a shot off the glass. Misses the attempt. Not one of the better attempts we've seen from Leah Ernest in this game. As well as on the basketball, 2:50 left to go for Belmont. Guarded by Ernest, receives a screen. One shoulder roll, goes to the left side, doesn't roll tight off the screen. And it goes to the right side. Offers up a shot, the up, the in, the scoop, the score by Wells. 3-point game. Belmont leads over Valpo. Brown at the far wing. Singles on over, pitches it to Saunders, throws on over to Dunson, back to Saunders, top of the key. Bounce pass goes to Brown, as Brown tries going on in, tries to off up a layup, misses that attempt from the left side. 2:15 left to go. Valpo has to look for an answer to defend on this attempt. However, Belmont's 5 of the last 7 on Valpo's defensive efforts in this game. Wells dribbles in between the circles, guarded by Dunson. Goes towards the right side, loses the basketball, and it was out of bounds. We wanted a call to have Dunson touch it. Dunson didn't even make contact with the basketball. As Cindy Harvey will check in for number 10 player Schoenfeld. Schoenwald, excuse me. Under 2 minutes left to go. Saunders has the basketball for the Beacons. A pitch to Dunson, throw on back to Saunders, look on over to Brown, goes right back to Saunders. Pump fake the drive, bounce pass outside, far corner, Brown from 3. She's limited three-pointers. 64-64. 1:35 left to go in this game. What a game. Wells drives in, floats it up, falls through to the bottom of the net. 2-point lead now here for the Bruins. Now we're going to need an answer back with 1:20 left to go. A pitch to Ernest, stops, kicks out to Brown. Brown looks on over, hands off to Saunders, top of the key. Goes right side, underhands to Pitts, tossed back to Saunders. Saunders the bounce pass to the 15-foot marker to Ernest. She tries, spins down low, and she travels down low on the attempt. With 1:05 left to go. Belmont still with a 2-point lead, 66-64. 1:05 left to go here in the fourth. Now just a minute remains. Belmont 3 of their last 3. Valpo needs to stop here against the Bruins. They're 6 of their last 8 as well on attacks from the field. Puts down Miller, looks to down north at the Hartley. And it'll be an offensive foul on the Bruins. Hartley earning her 4th foul. After the push-off attempt by Hartley, that's why she was so wide open. A Beacon foul down to the fourth. 50.3 seconds left to go in the fourth. Valpo down by 2. Saunders looks to Ernest, goes back to Saunders. Rolls on over to Brown, goes to Saunders, screens on over to Ernest. She's at the 15-foot marker. Kick out Pitts, now Saunders, bounce pass to Ernest, looks over to Brown, 35 left to go, 15 on the shot clock. Brown works, pitch out, Ernest, this one's from 3, just short, puts out the front of the rim, rebound hauled in by McGuff, and an automatic foul already put in as Pitts goes over to foul McGuff. Ellie Pitts is 4th, the team's 4th. They have 1 foul left to give here in this game before we see Belmont go to the free throw line with 28.4 seconds left to go. Olivia in for Olivia on Valpo's side. Sims checking in for Brown. Harvey to inbound, gets it into Wells, and a foul automatically called down to Elise Pitts. That'll be Pitts' 5th foul of this competition here.
That's her 5th.
On senior day, she will foul out of this competition to put in Olivia Brown back in play. Congratulations to Elise Pitts on one successful season here in a Valpo uniform. With 6 points here in this competition this afternoon, 2 of 5 from the field, 6 rebounds. Both buckets made on 3-point attempts. And as Wells is able to knock in the first to put it at a 1-score game, but a 3-point lead for the Bruins with 27.5 seconds left to go. Wells offering up the second, knocks it in. It's a two-score game. Curtis is going to roll the ball down the floor to Saunders. Offering some pressure by Wells. Saunders comes down the floor, pitches down over to Brown. Brown looks, scans, bounce pass to Saunders. 19 on the game clock. Pitch out, Brown offers up a deep three, knocks it in! The hard-working three-pointer by Olivia Brown! 1-point game, 16 seconds left to go in action. Valpo takes their last time out here of this game as they're down by just one. The pressure's on, and then it's a big game. 68-67. Belmont leading over Valpo. And of course, after this competition, we're talking to head coach Mary Evans for an Electro Bone and Joint post-game show. So make sure to stay tuned following the conclusion of this game for the LBJI post-game show. And we'll talk to Mary Evans to break down some of this competition and look to the Valley for some of the scores as well as how the Hoops in the Heartland tournament's going to be matching up with the likely opponents coming in this game. I, of course, have a podcast for the upcoming podcast. I'll also be breaking down NBC women's basketball action for the women's tournament in NBC play. So be sure to stay tuned for that one as well. You'll be able to catch that one playing likely at WVUR before the tournament, as well as on Spotify and the upcoming podcast. Now, a good call timeout, 68-67. Just down by one after the high arcing three by Olivia Brown. Belmont's going to take a timeout of their own. That'll be their second. Team left with 2 remaining here in this game. And we have 30-second timeout, so of course we'll still stay with you here. Leading in this game for the Beacons, number 2, Olivia Brown. 19 points in this game. Did not score in the first quarter at all. All for 19 points coming in the second quarter, third, and fourth quarters. 7 of 11 from the field. Allie Saunders with 13 points, 4 of 10 from the field. And looking to the opposite side, Destiny Wells almost towards that career high, season high of 35 points against Indiana State. She's sitting at 31. She's 11 of 19 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line. The last player that you want to inbound that basketball is Wells. You don't want her to have any control of the ball on the floor in this competition if you're Valpo. Sean Waltz is the inbound for the Bruins on the far sidelines. Gets it out into Bartley in an automatic foul. Almost immediately by Leah Ernest. He's going to drop the clock to 15.2 seconds. About 8 seconds rolling off the clock as Maya Thompson is going to check in for the Beacons. She'll go in for Ava Interante.
Maya Thompson in for Valpo.
Madison Bartley, a player that you do want to foul on the floor, shooting 63.7%. Currently 2 of 4, 50% in this game from the cherry strike. Is able to make it the first, puts it at a 2-point lead for the Bruins with 15.2 seconds left to go. Bartley looking for the second. Knocks that one in as well. Valpo to have the last shot. Coach Bart Brooks of the Bruins saying, keep your hands up, don't foul. With 10 seconds left to go. Saunders driving down the court. Pitch out to Ernest, puts up a pump fake. 4 in the game clock. Throws on out to Clemson. Clemson throws up the last second three-point attempt. And Valpo is going to take a loss here against Belmont. But man, what a competition. Beacons were able to compete the entire way in this game. They went wrong with Valley Best. Belmont's going to continue their game-winning streak to now 14 games on the season. They're going to finish with 21 wins overall, a 21-10 record for the Bruins. Valpo's going to finish off the regular season 7-22, 5-15 in Valley play. We'll finish off in the 11th spot overall in NBC action. As Valpo falls here on Senior Day. And Valpo meets up in the center of the floor as they talk to head coach Mary Evans. She's just going to break down 2 of her players here. Likely will be joined on the LBJI postgame show by head coach of the Beacons, Mary Evans. We're going to ask her, of course, about this competition and the Hoops in the Heartland tournament and what they have to prepare for coming up on March 9th. That's coming Thursday in action. Valpo falls in this competition 70-67, a 3-point loss for the Beacons overall in this game. They just weren't able to capitalize over in this matchup, as they will be honoring Valpo's seniors in the upper balcony, just straight across from where we're positioned here, calling this game this afternoon. Maya Dunson and Elise Pitts will be honored following the conclusion of this game. Two very great players. Just to break down a little bit about Maya Dunson and Elise Pitts. Dunson actually came to Valpo my sophomore year of college here in December after playing for former Valley member Loyola. Dunson had not only brought her playing experience from Loyola to the arc, she's also been able to show her talents on the floor for Valpo fans to see. Just a complete joy to watch to the end as she's hit the hardwood and will surely be graduating with a master's degree in public health from Valparaiso University. We're covering Elise Pitts after we joined up here on LBJI postgame show by head coach of the Beacons, Mary Evans. Her team following in this game 70-67 over the Belmont Bruins in this matchup, which is going to continue Belmont on their winning streak of 14 games as Mary Evans puts on the headset here to join us on our LBJI postgame show. And Coach, it was a tough matchup. You fought all the way down to the end. You're actually able to lead for the majority of this game. Just break down the fourth quarter of play and what could have been prevented in this game.
I mean, I thought we fought like crazy. I just think we had a couple defensive breakdowns. Obviously, Wells is a very good player, and I thought we did a really good job on her for most of the evening. And then in the fourth quarter, we kind of let her go a little crazy. Could have done a better job collectively guarding her. And I thought we did the last couple possessions, but that stretch there in the middle of the fourth, where she kept getting layups and fouls. We needed to be a little bit better there. A little bit better in our execution of her zone offense.
You're able to stay within this game with Olivia Brown able to knock down the last second three to put you within one. However, the foul had to end up happening with just a little bit of time left in that game. What did you tell your players coming out of that timeout to really bring them back into action?
We were just trying to make a play. We were trying to get a steal or a jump ball because we had the possession arrow. And then I thought, from an offensive perspective, I told Allie to go get the best shot we could. Get in there. If it's a two, it's a two. If it's not, we can kick it out. And I thought she did a good job making a good decision. We shared the basketball, which I think was the bright spot of tonight. We had 20 assists from 24 baskets. I think that's probably the best we've had all year long. And I think that shows this team that when we play together and we work together, that they're pretty darn good. And I hope they carry this into going to Moline. So we can continue to play some better basketball.
Really, Coach, in an honest perspective, it was night and day from the last game against Murray State in terms of teamwork, in terms of team effort. Our movement was much better. What led to that in practice coming into this game?
We talked about it, but it's all them. They made the choice to do it, and I think we continue to point that out to them that we're better when we play together. And we have to commit to doing that every single game, not just when we feel like it. And I wish I had a magic button I could hit it, and they just do it all the time, but for some reason they don't. And I would continue to encourage them to do it because they're pretty tough out when they do that offensively.
Olivia Brown, another successful game for her in this competition with 19 points overall. Was able to get 3 assists as well in this game. Just talk about her level of ability here in this competition and really her perseverance late in this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's a fantastic shooter. I don't know what else to say. And she can drive the basketball too. I thought they did a good job taking some insight her ability to score the paint away by kind of dropping everybody. And, unfortunately, sometimes when she drove it, she had to pass it out. We need to find a way to make sure we're keeping her out on that perimeter so that she can be the recipient of those assists and try to continue to make threes. But she's probably one of the best shooters I've ever coached, so it's fun to watch her when she's hot like she's been the last couple games.
She's been very hot, and hopefully to keep up this speed and this energy. You've got less than a week coming up to the Hoops in the Heartland tournament.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that tournament coming for that game? You've got quite a few days up into that tournament for practice. How do you prepare your team coming into that really element of the game?
We're going to figure out who we play in the next couple hours. We're going to give them some time off. I mean, they put a lot of minutes in here the last couple of days, and there's pretty physical games, both of them. So we'll give them some time off to get their bodies right. But we played everybody. We know what everybody's going to do. We have a good idea of how they're going to guard us and how they're going to try to attack us. And we need to come back into practice here at the beginning of the week focused. And the thing about tourney time, there's not a lot of opportunity to really practice hard. It's more about being mentally focused on the game plan and then doing that game plan. So we'll try to get a good one together for them, for whoever our opponent is, and try to go hopefully get at least one while we're in Moline.
Coach, thank you so much for being here for a post-game show. Good luck in Moline, Illinois. I'll see you there.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Elder Beacons, Mary Evans, in our LBJI post-game show. We're going to be talking to her, of course, hopefully before we go down to Moline here on WVUR 95.1 FM. We're going to take a media timeout, and we're going to head to the remainder of the LBJI post-game show to break down some of the Valley scores and the competition here this afternoon. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Reynolds and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at Reynolds-Feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Reynolds and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at Ticket Smarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on Ticket Smarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. Ticket Smarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. Ticket Smarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbard choose their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a deer.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit PoweringNorthwestIndiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And welcome back here to the Athletics Recreation Center for our LBJI post-game show. Our post-game show brought to you by the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. LBJI is proud to be the official team physicians of Valparaiso University Athletics. Belmont winning over Valparaiso 70-67. The final score here from Valparaiso, Indiana on Senior Day. Valpo not able to haul in a win in the final score of this competition. Let's break down the winner of this game here today out of Belmont with 70 overall points here for the Bruins. They shot 43% from the field overall in the game, just 17.4% from three, with 4 of 23. Belmont just allowed them too many inside lane options. And looking down the line as well, just 22 of 25 from the charity stripe, 88% from the free throw line, and Valpo just limited their fouls here in this game. It really could have been a different outcome. Leading overall in scoring for the Bruins, number 11, Destiny Wells. 31 points with 11 of 19 on the day, 7 of 7 from the charity stripe, on 3 rebounds and dish out 5 assists as well. With 14 points, number 3, Madison Bartley went 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, earning 6 rebounds as well, 2 assists and 1 steal, and she was able to swipe away a basketball. Wells also with 3 steals as well, a thing I forgot to mention, breaking her stats down before. Kevin Chasman went 4 of 6 from the field, offered up 10 points on the board and 3 rebounds. Falling right behind Chasman with 7 points, number 22, Tessa Miller, and she went 2 of 2 from the field, 5 rebounds and 7 points here in this game. 2 players with 4 points overall, number 5, Sydney Harley. And looking down the line, we also had number 12, Caitlin McGough with 4 points as well, and 9 rebounds with 4 of 6 from the field. All 4 of her points offered up from the charity stripe in this competition this afternoon. And 2 players who played but did not score for Belmont, number 10, Blair Schoenwald, and number 23, Nikki Baird. Belmont had 12 turnovers in this game, 9 steals and 12 assists, and had a +3 overall following this competition as they won 70-67 here in this game. Looking at the Valparaiso Beacons with 67 points, falling by 3 to Belmont. They shot 24 of 56 from the field, 42.9%, with 15 of 32 from the perimeter to shoot 46.9% here in this game, and went 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Belmont really limited their fouls here in this competition this afternoon, and the highest fouling quarter for the Bruins was in the fourth with 4 fouls overall for Belmont, so they really limited a lot here in this competition. Leading scorer for the Beacons was number 2, Olivia Brown, once again here this afternoon with 19 points, with 7 of 11 from the field, 1 rebound, and had 3 assists as well to add on to it. Number 11, Allie Saunders, sitting right behind her with 13 points, shot 4 of 10 from the field, and 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. This shot 6 assists as well in this game. Sitting right behind Saunders in this competition with 9 points is number 22, Leah Ernest, with 4 of 10 from the field, was also able to haul in 9 rebounds, just short, 1 shy of a double-double on both ends of the board. Finishing right behind Ernest with 8 points is number 33, Olivia Sims, and she went 2 of 7 from the field, was able to haul a rebound and dish out an assist. Sitting right behind Sims with 7 points, number 32, Maya Dunson, the senior here in this competition with 7 points and 7 rebounds here this afternoon. Right behind Dunson with 6 points, number 4, the other senior of these Spits, with 2 of 5 from the field, was able to get in 6 rebounds at their highest rebounding category for Pitts here overall. And looking at these Spits on the season, just 2 shy of her career, tying her career high in rebounding of 8. Looking down the line after Elise Pitts with 3 points offered up on the board here. Emma Tucker went 1 of 5 from the field, also able to get in a rebound. And number 41, Jada Johnson, went 1 of 1 from the field, offered up 2 points on the board. Number 3, Ava Interante played just a second of time and did not score in that 1 second period. Valpo turned the basketball over 16 times in this game. He's got 20 assists, which I believe is a season high for Valparaiso overall. He had 4 steals in this game and offered up 3 blocks as well for the Beacons of the -3 here to finish off this contest. Both teams had 16 points off of turnovers, 32 points in the paint for Belmont, as we saw Destiny Wells just have a heyday in the paint. 31 points for Wells, and the majority of the 32 in the paint were by her as well. 16 points in the paint offered up by the Beacons. 3 second chance points for Belmont and 5 for Valparaiso. 6 fast break points for Belmont and 5 for Valpo. 10 bench points for the Bruins and 30 bench points offered up by the Beacons in this competition tonight to bring it a final score of 70-67 here. We're going to take another break here as we're going to break down a little bit of the Valley scores and talk about Elise Pitts and Mike Hudson here on the LBJ Post Game Show just shortly. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso women's basketball. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
At Wings Etc., we love sports. So much that we packed our walls with tons of big flat screens tuned to the very best of sports programming. At Wings Etc., we love big, cooked to tender, crisp perfection wings. And so do our fans who have voted our wings best in more and more cities across the Midwest. At Wings Etc., we love beer. We love it so much that we have over 40 different kinds of beers in bottles and on tap, including your favorite regional craft beers. Wings Etc. at 501 North Still Navy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Rhino and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at Rhino-Feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you with excellent service. Because at our Rhino and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie! Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. And we are back here in Valparaiso, Indiana for the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Post-Game Show. Every post-game show brought to you by the LBJI Institute. We're back here to kind of break down some of this competition here tonight, as both Maya Dunson and Elise Pitts are going to be graduating soon. Both seniors, one a graduate student who is able to be eligible for an additional year of Dunson. Pitts playing all 4 seasons here. She actually redshirted a year due to personal reasons for 1 season as well. Kind of breaking down Pitts' stats, she's been here since 2018. She played the 2018-19 season, the 19 and 20 season, sat out the 2020 and 2021 season, played in the 2021 season, and now the 2022-2023 season here. Lots of 2020s to mention there for Elise Pitts. Pitts in her first year actually averaged 3 points a game, played all 31 games. The second year played 28 games, and then after that, set out that season, played 21 games last year and 28 games of competition to make that now 29 games of competition this season for Elise Pitts. Looking down the line as well, her career stats overall, 109 games played 1,738 minutes, went 121 of 317 overall. Now this is before coming in this game here this afternoon for Elise Pitts. She played 32 minutes tonight, and with my math, you don't want me to add. So we're going to continue on here to continue her stats that are broken down before this game overall. Averaged 3.2 points per game in a career, had 116 steals. Looking at Pitts here in this competition tonight, this afternoon, Elise Pitts played one heck of a match, however, wasn't able to add on to that, so she's going to finish with 116 overall before the Hoops in the Heartland tournament at 8 blocks coming into this game. And tonight, Elise Pitts was not able to get in a block either, had 154 overall assists in her career, and added on 4 of those as well to get to 158 assists. And she averaged about 3 rebounds a game, getting in 261 and 6 here in this competition this afternoon, and that's going to make it to 267 in her overall career. For covering the majority of Elise Pitts' career, she was really a phenomenal player to watch on the defensive end of the floor, a player that always showed me a great amount of respect and has a great knowledge of this wonderful game we call basketball. Pitts is an individual who will fight with her teammates to the end and will stand up for her team if anybody tries to get her way. Not only does she finish Valpo here after 4 full seasons of basketball, she looks to graduate with an athletic and performance counseling degree right here from Valparaiso University. We broke down Maya Dunson as well, but let's go with her career over here as well. As she played 76 games overall. Coming into this competition, she had played 1,477 minutes, averaged 3.8 points per game with 286 total points in her career. To add that on with her point total of 7 here in this competition is going to be in the high 290s for Maya Dunson. She's able to get 32 steals to make that 33 with this competition here. 16 blocks for the senior overall in her career in a Beacon uniform. 227 turnovers from Maya Dunson. She had none here in this competition this afternoon. Was able to haul in 261 rebounds in her career as a Beacon to make it 268 following this competition here this afternoon. Maya Dunson came to Valpo here my sophomore year of college in December after playing for former Valley member Loyola. Dunson has not only brought her playing experience from Loyola here to the Arc, she has also been able to show her talents on and off the floor for Valpo fans to see. A complete joy to watch as she hits the hardwood and will shortly be graduating with a master's degree in public health from Valparaiso University after she had just graduated from Loyola, came here to get and pursue her master's degree. One of the smarter players that I've ever met in my life is Maya Dunson, and one of the talents on the floor is the senior as well. So congratulations to both Elise Pitts and Maya Dunson on their careers here at Valparaiso. They've been a pleasure to watch. They've been a pleasure to be able to travel with so far this season. And not only do I respect their game, I hope that they have a great rest of their season heading into the Hoops in the Heartland tournament and looking at it as well. I really hope that they're successful following and pursuing their careers as they've been successful here at Valparaiso. Breaking down some of the scores from around the valley. Of course, Mary Evans mentioning that Valpo's kind of looking to see who they will match up against. Bradley gets their first win in Valley action against Evansville. A thing that I never thought I'd see before in my life. Bradley actually earns a win here in MVC competition. And I'm not even exaggerating now. I really thought Bradley wasn't going to win over Evansville. The RPI rankings had Evansville winning by over 14 points to the Braves. Bradley able to defy expectations and break a 22-game winning streak to win 61-51 over Evansville. Congratulations to the Braves. Even not go winless in Valley competition in their season, they're going to finish 1-19 in MVC play and be 4-27 after not winning in over 90 days of action. Congratulations to the Braves that finally earned their first Valley win of the season. Illinois State beating Indiana State 82-71. Redbirds as well as Bruins both tied for that first spot in Valley competition as they're both regular season champions, which, I mean, hey, it works. You both kind of win in a way, and they're both winning in a way there. Looking at some of the scores from around the Valley with 6 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the third. It's a 54-40 Bulldog lead over the Salukis. With 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the third quarter, both UIC and Murray State tied at 41-all in that competition. And with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter, UNI on top of Missouri State by 9. Panthers are looking to add on to some more wins as UNI will look to finish off in the third place position this season. Missouri State looking for a piece of that to tie for third overall in the Valley. They're really looking to be there in that position, depending on the final score of that competition following today. And of course, you can be able to check out that anywhere, especially at the Hoops in the Heartland app and the Valley page as well for NBC women's basketball action. I'll also be breaking it down on my podcast as well, the upcoming podcast, where you can tune in on Spotify as well. Looking for some of the top 25 action scores. Number 2, Indiana on top of Ohio State by 10, a 68-58 lead with 6:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. In the third quarter with 3 minutes left to go, number 13, Duke, down big to Virginia Tech, 44-26. The Blue Devils looking to get back and inch their way into that competition. With 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter, number 16, Oklahoma 45, Oklahoma State 47, a 2-point lead for Oklahoma State over Oklahoma. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter, number 23, Iowa State 8, Texas Tech 11 in that competition. With 1:34 left to go in the third quarter, number 24, Middle Tennessee 45, UTEP 35 in action there. A couple games that will start later in the day at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Number 1, South Carolina taking on Ole Miss. At 6 o'clock, number 4, LSU taking on Tennessee. Also at 6 o'clock, number 11, Villanova taking on DePaul. But before 6 o'clock, 2 games at 4 o'clock, number 7, Iowa taking on Maryland. And number 12, Texas taking on Kansas State. 2 games finalized in top 25. Notre Dame being upset by Louisville, 64-38. Almost a 30-point win for Louisville over Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish not able to itch even 40 points in that competition. And number 9, UConn beating Georgetown 69-39. The final score there against Georgetown. This actually being the final game of my broadcasting career that I will do here for WVUR at the Arc as it stands as a student. So this being a big moment for me to really be able to just kind of reflect on my career. There's a lot of people I'd like to thank. I'll be doing that at the Hoops in the Heartland tournament, of course, because I can't thank enough people for helping me get to the position I'm at today. This is not a career that a lot of people pursue, and it's a tough career as well after this. So I really hope that God pushes me the correct way, and I know that He will here following this career season that I've had here with not only the women's basketball team, but of course, WVUR will be broadcasting both softball and baseball. And I hope to be on some of those broadcasts as well live for you on WVUR 95.1 FM. I'd like to thank you all for listening, as we hope that you tune into the Valpo Sports Radio Network on Thursday, March 9th. As, of course, the women's basketball team will take on an opponent that's to be announced, and it will be a later game slated for the Beacons. I believe it will be around an 8:30 start in madness action, as myself, Zach Collins, and Noah Gonzo will have the pregame show and, of course, the game, which looks to be at 8:30 for that competition, which, like a pregame show, will start around 8 o'clock, and it'll be live on both WVUR and YouTube for that competition. I'd like to give a quick shout-out to our sponsors who made today's broadcast possible, including Calumet Brewing, Custodia Tractor, Wings Etc., Mike Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. Looking down the line as well, this Valparaiso women's basketball broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment. The general manager of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment for Valparaiso Athletics is Blair Milton. This broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Valparaiso women's basketball right here on WVUR The Source 95. And any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR is prohibited. The general manager of WVUR is myself, Zach Collins. The sports director for WVUR is Noah Gonzo, and the assistant sports director for WVUR is Soren Burkholder. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Cole Vick, who took his time off here on a Saturday to be able to get us live on WVUR and to turn us up as well following this broadcast. Once again, your final score here from the Athletics Recreation Center. Valpo falls to Belmont 70-67. I'm Zach Collins. Thank you for listening to another presentation of Valparaiso Beacons basketball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Enjoy what is left of your Saturday, and we'll see you back here on WVUR Thursday. And as we say so long for the last time this season in the Vale of Paradise.
That was another presentation of Valparaiso Beacon Athletics on WVUR The Source 95, the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR The Source 95 is prohibited. We thank you for listening to today's contest as we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming on WVUR The Source 95 Valparaiso, the official home of Beacon Athletics.